Suck our dicks!
Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks!
Suck our dicks!
Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks!
Well, woman I love is named Ramona. She kinda looks like Tippy Stormy. She can dance like a little Egypt. She works down at the snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile house, snake farm. Ramona's got a keen sense of humor. She got a tattoo down her arm. It's of a python eating a little mouse, wearing a sailor hat that says Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. I asked Ramona how come she works there. She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter now, then some kid gets bit at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. This is a sing-along. Really. Here goes Snake Farm. It just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. It ain't exactly kumbaya, but being the music fog, it ought to be perfect. Help me now, be on TV. It said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Getting into it now. Well, Ramona likes malt liquor and a band from Wales that's called The Alarm. She said she cried when they broke up. She still plays the records at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Sometimes Ramona calls me up and says, come on down here, it's getting warm. And she runs everybody off and we, you know, it's Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Help me now. I said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm.
Unlock my phone and watch the world die. They crying to God while they run for their lives. Blood in the streets, bombs in the sky. Goodbye. I hope you had dreams come true. I hope they see in their crosshairs what I see in you. And I hope and I pray, 'cause it's all I can do.
Voice of an angel.
I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad. More than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Superman. I turn on the news and watch the world fight. Thousands of men making widows of wives. I'll be home soon, walked off in the night. Goodbye, I will remember you. I know it's true to be shot and they're men just like you, but I hope and I pray, 'cause that's all I can do.
It's my new favorite song.
Mine too. I like it. My favorite song from him for sure.
Yeah, it's a good song.
They
Yeah,
don't
man.
care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast. We need something back. More than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Soon you won't need a TV or an iPhone to see, because you will look out the window and boom. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast. We need something back. More than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman?
Good morning. Welcome to ClusterF. Thursday already. Friday, tomorrow morning, 7:45, net in your head. Maybe even a little net after dark tomorrow. Haven't got with him on that one. Maybe. That's been a long time.
You gotta ask Ned.
Yeah. Double duty that ain't no easy deal.
He ain't all about that, is he?
That ain't 6 hours of Ned. Woo! Woo! It's a Ned overdose. New episode of The Hang will be up on Spotify, YouTube, ClusterF Show channel, YouTube. It'll be up on Twitch videos if you're a subscriber. Also, the extra hour, The Hang, I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes this week.
Damn.
Yeah, you have to listen to it, Trace.
Why?
The VIP Hang this week.
Was it amazing?
It's amazing because he gave me this story about this DJ in Dallas. It's an old story from like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But the guy writes an article about this guy, and it's freaky. It's as if there was there was a clone of the guy in Tampa in Dallas.
Yeah.
And you know, I kept going. I was like, this is blowing me away. It just totally blew me away. And he'd go, wait, it gets better. And I was like, it can't get better. And then I'd read something and go, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? And he's like, it gets better. Like a list of like 30 things. Identical.
Maybe he was reading that because he, kept abreast of all the radio stuff.
Who was reading that?
Your old boss. Maybe he was reading
I don't
that
think
and
you go off
following the
Script. But he was, yeah, he was that long before.
Yeah.
Long before. I mean, yeah, and stuff about, even like stuff about like his past. It was all the same. All this. I mean, it's freaky. So we went for like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes just talking about that. I was reading the whole article. Read the whole article. I'm just like, are you shitting me? You can either listen to the incredible show or just read the article.
It's like it must be like a parasite or something,
And it's like
the cat litter box.
Yeah.
It's like
toxoplasmosis.
It's
Wow, he remembers the name of that.
he's a savant. Toxic plasmosis. It's as if like it's a syndrome with identical symptoms.
Yeah.
And the only reason you don't know more about it is there's only two guys who've managed to make it to that height in their career. But there's a lot of people out there like that. They're just not famous.
Yeah.
That's a thing. self-destructing famous. It went into the self-destruction shit and everything.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you're like, what?
And then that guy died a few years, like in 21 or something.
Alcohol.
Like
He was
that.
an alcoholic. That's the only thing that wasn't, similar.
Yeah.
The only thing. Oh, it blew me away. You'll get blown away.
Maybe he was always trashed and we just didn't even notice.
Maybe he was just an alcoholic.
I don't think he was an alcoholic.
Yeah, he never drank. He wouldn't. See, he's got to be in control. Gotta be in control. So while you guys get drunk, I can make you do stupider stuff.
Yeah, that's
That was it.
weird, man.
He used to always try to. I don't know what he was trying to do. Like the last 6 months or so of the show, I'd walk in and he would give me a half an Adderall stuck into a gummy every morning. When I went out, he'd say, "Come here," and I can't believe I got away with this. I would say, "Yeah, thanks, boss," and I would take it and I would go to my desk and just put it away and never eat the gum.
It's weird
eating a gummy every day of my and an Adderall.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you got a problem if you're doing that.
I mean, you just
Well, you eventually
even
ate
you
him.
just saying
No, I just saved. I saved him. It take me a year. I get a 1 month prescription of Adderall, and it would last me 1 year.
it's weird just to say the fact that you can't believe that you could get away with that. That's a weird, because normally you'd be like, let me see, lift up your,
You got to eat in front of me. Now take a drink. Yeah,
I mean, it seems like what he would do.
it's totally what he would do. That's why I couldn't believe I got away with it. I was like, "Oh, thanks, boss." I mean, that's how easy we could have outworked him. He thinks he's the greatest worker, but he's one of the worst. He worked himself into oblivion. I mean, how's that working? How is that working? That ain't working.
I mean, and that's something that wouldn't be crazy for you to get in like a lot of trouble about, and actually, you wouldn't even think, he gives you out and you're like, I'm just going to fake take it or whatever. And you start walking away. It's like, hey, come on, let me check your pockets. Let me lift up your tongue. Let me make sure you force-fed these drugs I gave you.
If you
And now you're in trouble because you didn't want to take an Adderall and a gummy at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, now you got to get spanked.
That's not. It's like not even remotely unbelievable. Like that is.
It's good. It's like
Lay over my lap right now.
I mean, if you
It's like
ask,
Tina Fey always says, it's funny because it's true.
I mean, if you asked me before one day at that show, hey Trace, do you think you might get spanked today? I'd be like, we have a good chance.
You could have an odds board. Will Trace get spanked? Who will have to show their genitals? Ink Spike says, is that what the amoebas were? Yes. Amoebas were Adderall.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how much Adderall he was on. You could now.
Well, he always said if whatever the dosage is, take double or triple or.
And it's like when there's a period of time, like I don't remember, like during the last year or maybe even longer of the show,
yeah.
where he was smoking weed.
Yeah.
And that was before it got when he stopped smoking weed, and the show became really shitty because he went crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like, you can't fake it. He was genuinely so much better to be around, and it was almost like we had a better chemistry just one-on-one. We were doing the Todd and Mike show. It was me and him were like this, and we would go out in the trailer and get high, and then come in and do the Todd and Mike show. And, going out to the trailer with him was fun. The guy, when the guy's being, Mr. Charming, he's just a great guy to be around. He's just got the, mental problems. But how do you, how does he, he couldn't fake it. So he must have been generally high and
maybe
and
maybe you can't take Adderall without weed. Maybe it's, it's Adderall's like meth, They say it's really, it's not a good drug for you, and maybe if you just take that with no, I mean, I remember
you're right,
when I was
right.
a kid, when I was young, and for like the week I was on Adderall when I was in school, I'd take it, and then I'd come home and I'd be like, if I don't smoke some pot, my brain's going to explode. Like it, it just felt like my brain was going to blow up if I didn't
Maybe
smoke some weed.
weed back down the Adderall. Like
I'm thinking
some drugs that you take, you could take something to counteract it. Maybe that's what weed did to Adderall, counteracted it.
I mean, that's why, you would take the, like the one day a week I would take the gummy and the Adderall on Fridays, so because I'm tired. And it's a great combination. It was a great combination, because he was on weed, and this is all alleged. This is all theater of their minds, radio. We never took any drugs down there.
Yeah.
It's just a rip. No, but it really made for, we got into much more in-depth conversations about stuff as opposed to me. Because he was high and on Adderall, and he was, I could like throw a topic out there and get some good stuff rolling. And then he turned it off like a light switch and decided to do pyloning and cubes and kegeling and torturing Trace and doing everything to run me out of town. Woo! Woo! Okay, so listen to The Hang on the VIP ClusterFshow.com. One of the best shows we've done. The whole show was good, but I think the one with the story about the guy in Dallas just blew me away. Totally. I mean, I don't get blown away easily.
Yeah.
And I was, it's
I
getting,
gotta read it.
And he kept going, it's getting better. And I was like, it's not going to
get better.
And I
Do
was
you
like,
have a clip of that?
Nah, I don't have a clip of it. It was late. I don't have a clip. I went to bed. Got on the couch. It was like, we went to like 10:30, so I can get a clip of it to play. Like next week or something.
Man,
Not a clip, just a
I mean, I could dive into it, but I
just
don't.
a little piece of it. But if you have, it don't matter. I think Crystal Gale says, when is New York Jerry coming back in? I think today, right?
Today. He texted me. We actually texted, so I know he's coming for
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been a month. I think it's been a month. This and that going on.
He's had a lot going on.
I had some stuff going on, and he had some stuff
Yep.
going on, and Trace had some stuff going on that affected me. And but yeah, we're back. We're back, Mike and Jerry. I don't know. You better turn down the volume on your radio. Jerry has not vented in a month.
Oh God,
He's not vented in a month. We may have to tranquilize him at some point to the show.
A gummy and an Adderall? Is that what you're thinking?
God.
I need a safe word. Well, tune into the Mike and Jerry show today at 11. Back in the saddle
But
again.
he'll be back at 10, right?
He'll probably be here at 9:45.
always.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know,
It's
but
the gummy
my
and the Adderall.
my Antarctic waves disappeared off the radar. Looks like it was a glitch in the system.
I mean, anybody out there? Somebody getting out? Hey, what's going on? It's not. I guarantee it's nothing.
Yeah,
They do that about 3 times a day.
They're insane.
And that's like, they do it a bunch of times a day, but it's like something. Somebody's driving on, the road over there or something. But you're just like, shut. You got to get out of the couch, off the couch.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? And you go, nothing. But hey, if it was something, they would alert us to it. So it's good to have.
Yeah.
I don't think people get broken into your house if you have dogs. They don't want to mess with that.
Especially all your dogs.
They don't want we would at least be awake, because those dogs would
be
go
awake
nuts.
when we got shot. I had maybe from hanging out here too much. I had a terrible dream that I just had too many pain in the ass animals. I was a nightmare all night last night. Just dogs that are trying to get off these leashes and shit. It was terrible.
So trust me. I stopped listening to you and started thinking about the animals. I'm thinking about the 2 horses that they have to feed, and then now I lock them up at night. I give them feed and lock them in that little area because it's like Mama's always getting into trouble. I had to dig her out of the sand pile. I had to get a fence off of her hoof the other day. It's like I don't need her at 3 a.m. trapped somewhere. She's just gonna sit in the damn stable area. So I got to go out there every night at midnight. Chain the chain, put them in there. But I'm a good animal.
Fuck those horses, man. I was trying. I've only tried to nap on that side of the house in that dark room over there a couple times. But you just sit there and the whole time is Fucking horse is like I thought. I mean, it took me 2 times of sleeping in there to just be like, it sounds like it's the exact same sound as in Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is coming.
Yeah, it's a. And it's, like sometimes it's, a lot, like every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like every 30 seconds.
It's almost worse.
Why do they do that?
That's because of flies. They need fly sprayed.
So they're shaking.
But they're
doing
usually
that to
No,
shake
not-
they're standing out there like, give me food, bitch. Like, that's what they're doing. I guarantee
It's
it.
Mama. She stomps when the,
Yeah.
but I don't know why they're in the stall. They only do,
Why the horses are in the stall?
Yeah.
Because they're lazy. They just hang out in the stall half the time. You don't have to lock them up. But Mingo's like, there's nothing I can do. I can't control this horse. I go to as soon as she sees me, go to head to the shed to get her food. She comes up to the gate and she starts smashing it with her hoof, and it's like, and I yell at her and I tell her she won't listen to me. And what can I do? Go up and slap her? So that's the most annoying thing in the world. But I don't know what to do about it. All right, animal talk.
I mean,
see, you triggered me.
I was
You triggered me.
was so angry when the horse just kept stomping, and it's like even when it'd be like a minute apart, like you could not listen for it. So like it's just like keeping you awake because it's giving something for your mind to do, and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, it finally stopped. Boom, and you're like, oh no, there. And then you're anticipating it. When it doesn't come, it still keeps you up because you're anticipating it. I went out there like a madman. I just after about a half hour of that, I just walked out real mad. I was like,
and he wonders why our animals don't like him.
That's his only interaction with the horses is riding 4-wheelers and going. He's the devil to them. No wonder Mingo wants to stomp you to death.
Yep. Kegel with Hogan says, talking about drugs, what was Trace on during the bar show? He put on and off his glasses 8,000 times. What glasses?
I had those castle glasses, king glasses, crown glasses, whatever you.
Yeah.
I didn't even
I
notice.
didn't notice either.
They're sitting out on the patio though. Those glasses. If
Well,
you need them.
I put it on my head. It was on my head most of the time, and then I'd look in the screen and see I didn't have them on, and then I'd put them on, and then they were too dark, so I'd take them off immediately.
And then he'd go, oh, I forgot to put them on. Oh, they're too dark. And take them off.
That's exactly what
And then
I
he'd
was
look
doing.
at the thing and go, oh, I forgot to put them on. Oh, it's too dark.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, my God.
That was last week. Seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
5th anniversary bar show. I could not get it up on the website. It wouldn't take it. No matter what. It just gave me, and all it would do is give me a red exclamation point. So I'd go, well, why? So I'd put the thing on, and there was no explanation. And I tried it multiple times, and it just gave me a red exclamation point. And I went, well, it's been years, and I can't get it out. I'm just sorry. I have to move along. You can see the bar show, the 5th anniversary bar show on Twitch videos. I think it's up there,
But not
but
where?
not anywhere else, like the website. I couldn't get it. I'm sorry. I tried.
All
All right.
I should, just whatever. Deal with it. That should be my life. Just fucking deal with it. And then people are like, yeah, we'll deal with it. Because the boss man said deal with it.
Okay.
This fucking nice guy thing. What am I doing? Groveling. Come on. I work my ass off. One show. Fuck off. No, not really. See, I can't do that. That's too nice. Mr. Nice Guy's finishing last. Fuck that. We'll be the last stream standing, I'm telling you right now.
Man, you guys have mentioned this, and I've gotten, it really set in yesterday. I didn't really get so angry when you brought it up, but this corporate housing.
Corporate house.
I don't know. I was just driving around and I heard on the radio that
them buying up the house.
yeah, in like Atlanta or something. There was 3 companies that owned 19,000 homes.
They're doing it in Tampa,
BlackRock.
all around this area too.
BlackRock. What's the other one? That
Well, I think they're all, BlackRock's like, if we do this, people are kind of catching on a little more to the BlackRock
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
they come up with 3 other company names, and
have
it's like this company.
Yeah.
It's 3
So
companies that owns, these separate 3 separate things. But it's really just fucking probably BlackRock that owns all of them. Is
Yeah.
going to compete against itself to drive its own prices
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah. They all
compete against itself.
They
to
all
see it.
own so many shell companies under different names, so people can't tell who they are anymore.
And you-
Because people
yeah.
used to, know how to figure that out, and now they figured that out, so they just have shell companies, and
Well, I was
they're
going to say,
all probably owned by the same.
you used to have much more investigative journalism.
Yeah.
See, I bet you could still find out who's doing it, but they just report what they're told. They're not
Yeah.
going to dig in and say, "Well, actually, it's all BlackRock." And no,
Yeah.
I'm out of a job. What? That's how it works, man. Learn how to work. It's all fake because no reporter wants to lose his job.
I mean, and it's just like really screwing the American people.
It
I
is.
mean, it just like
USA.
to think about, they're saying a lot of them are like starter homes. And instead of buying a house for, $150,000 when you're, in your early 20s, and then, making payments on it and paying some of your house off, and your payments are $800-900, maybe $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
But to go from that to paying, $2,000-3,000 in rent on something, you're just throwing that. Not only are you just throwing that money away, but the price is ridiculous.
And I thought they were buying too many back in 2008, and now they've just ramped. They went, wow, look what we could do, and now they've just completely took over buying any of the foreclosed homes. And then they cause the foreclosures and then buy the houses.
It's insane that like right now it's just kind of like you've just accepted that $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, or maybe a 2. I don't know what it is that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've already people have come. You complain about it, but you're like, I can't move out right now because it's a totally different world. $2,000 a month. I think it was me and Donna paying $385, $400 a month when we got our first nice little 1-bedroom apartment. That's not inflation.
Man.
5 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you got you suckered into thinking that's the norm. See, I saw something incredibly frightening yesterday. I saw a commercial for an air conditioning service, and he comes on and he goes, now that inflation is a part of life. And then he went on with, and I was just like, whoa. That's a business guy going, oh, this is the way it's going to be forever.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Boo.
Boo. Inkspike says, I've missed Jerry terribly. Please give him a kiss on the forehead for me. I don't care which one of you does it. We'll have to play a hand of poker. To see us kiss Jerry
Gayest
on
game
the-
of poker ever.
Trace will fold immediately just so he can kiss Jerry on the forehead.
Oh. Yeah, I've been meaning to go to the casino and get my poker game on.
You don't want to do that.
No.
Oh, I mean that was two of the funniest things on the bar show was when Trace thought he had good hands and they were nothing.
I thought it was killing it over there.
Thought he had a couple of good stories. I can't remember, but a couple that was gonna mark out to the bar show that people can't see on the website. I'm sorry.
They can see it on Twitch.
on the Twitch video.
Look on Facebook, on the messages.
Me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
and just click on the messages and the Sean Raz one, the picture of him.
Come on, babe.
She
Well,
is
I'm waiting
having a
for you to
heavy
do it.
rotation.
No, I'm not. I'm
You
waiting
gotta
for you to
talk
get
while he's
there
doing it.
because he won't know until he gets there. All right, click on that
I clicked on it.
and read some of that. That's what he just sent. How many companies own what?
27 companies control the military-industrial complex. 30 companies control the entire medical industry. 10 companies control the food supply. 6 companies control the flow of information. And they're all owned by BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. Well, there you go.
I'm surprised that many people, 30, own the
Well, it doesn't matter because it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
There are 30 companies competing against each other to raise the prices and make billions and collude and not cure anything. And it's like this is these 3 guys. I don't even know if they're that if they're the guys who make the decisions for the world, but you're getting close.
Yeah.
You're getting close to the top with these three guys. These three guys are more powerful than anybody in
Yeah.
Washington.
And nobody knows who they are. Right?
No. I mean,
not the general public,
I
because that's
think-
how they want it. They don't want people to know.
I think I've seen the BlackRock guy, being
Yeah.
interviewed on the news shows. But other than that, I don't know who these two guys are, Vanguard and State Street. But they're probably two of the richest guys in the world.
I mean, you even think like Pepsi and Coke, you know, how I bet those by now those companies are probably owned by the same people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, you know, fighting Pepsi versus Coke has worked for a long time,
that's
so we're
good
just gonna
business right there.
we're just gonna keep, you know,
It's a win-win.
we own both of these corporations.
Oi, oi.
Kegel Hogan said, "Heads up, you guys were playing Go Fish, not poker." Didn't even resemble.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it did.
It was.
Is that not poker?
I think
Just
that's...
because we didn't.
but I think the
'cause
whole
we
thing
didn't-
about poker is bluffing and
Yeah,
stuff.
just
and
because we didn't do that. We didn't do the betting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was... Because it was for freestyle. You had to freestyle if you
Yeah.
lost. So the
Yeah.
whole thing was a rib. But that's still how you play poker. You get cards
for the
and
betting part.
and you draw cards, right? You
You get cards and you draw cards.
get cards and you draw cards.
He says, "Not at all." What?
Blackjack's you just trying
I
to
don't
get
think
21 and they give you a card, 2 cards, and then you try and
I mean, straight poker isn't you get 5 cards, you give a couple back, you look at your hand one last time, and you get in. I can't remember how many cards it is, but and then you gotta then so because then you can raise.
Yeah.
If you think you got a good hand.
I guess that's the part we were missing, the important part.
Oh, we didn't bet at all because
Yeah.
it was just winner take. It was loser take all for the freestyle.
Yeah.
See, I was wanting to freestyle. That sounded like fun.
yeah.
It just kept being Trace and Brandon, the two worst poker players.
Ever. What about? I'm thinking blackjack. Is that how does all this shit a scam?
Do you know how to play blackjack?
Don't you just they give you you're playing with some people and you get 2 cards and try and get as close as you can to 21 without going over?
Yeah, and the dealer wins if it's a tie. With the big FU.
That's
We both got 21 FU. Yeah, you can't win. I mean, it's one of the more. I think you could get a better chance. I don't think you get a better chance. I mean, it's just more fun.
Yeah.
Because I won the one time I played, and that was probably a total fluke,
I always wonder if the roulette machines, they shoot the ball out, it goes around a bunch of times, and the wheels go in the opposite way. There's no way they could get it to go in a certain thing, right?
I think they can.
I don't know, because it
Come on.
bounces all around when it starts
But
getting slow.
Maybe
But
the chances are better if you have some kind of magnetic system
Yes,
underneath.
that's what it is.
And they press a button
Yeah.
to move the magnetic thing
They
or
turn
something.
on the super magnet, and it's they have super magnets under every one. So you want the 9.
I don't know if I'm believing your super magnets. I
I
wouldn't
don't-
put it past them. To have-
Maybe it's just the odds are just so astronomical, right?
Yeah.
Now on the black or red, you can make that bet right?
Yeah.
No, that's a 50-50, right?
No, because they got the couple green ones
Oh,
on
so-
it, so it makes it a little bit. It's not 50-50.
Gotcha. See, they'll find a way.
And even you
Find a
hear
way.
methods of people that figure out that are if you go in there and the roulette table's $10, is the max bid or whatever, or the minimum. I don't know. But if you put, there's just put every time, just put all your money on one until you're up, put 10 down.
Yeah.
And then if you hit that, you just leave. If you lose it, you put 20 down. And if you lose that, you put 40 down. Eventually, you're going to hit, and then you keep that money. But
It's over my head.
I don't know.
to just
how to
think
play
double what you put down each time, because eventually, it's a 50-50. So 10 times, if you go 10 times, you're bound to hit it once, and you just walk away with it, whatever you won. But they make that illegal somehow too.
What?
Doing that to us at past a certain amount of money.
Doing what? Walking away?
Increasing increasing your money double.
Double or nothing?
Never mind. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
let's just
nothing
forget.
about gambling.
I don't either. So it's a couple of idiots talking about games. Donna doesn't either.
That's why I ain't talking
Yeah,
about it
right.
because I don't know how to play any of those. I just hate those games.
I've played the roulette a couple times and lost. And there was this one weird game I used to play, and I really liked it. That was the only thing I ever played. And I won $160 and never
right.
went back.
That's shocking.
But
Shocking.
I've never sat at a slot machine at the casino and just not just been like, lose 50 cents, lose 50 cents,
That's
lose 50
crazy.
cents, lose 50 cents, win 20 cents, but I really lost 30 cents, win 20 cents, lose 50 cents, lose 50 cents. Oh, God, I have no money. Like that, I've done it, a good 10, 15 times.
Oh, you have?
In my life, yeah.
I mean, I always said that's the saddest place in the world is when you walk into the casino with the slots and you see the people smoking. They don't even look. They're just like click, 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 and nobody's having a good time at all. It's not. You don't even get the pleasure of doing that. They're just like lose, 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 lose. It's like it's a disease.
The only people having fun at the casino are people that don't go there that much. You can tell.
Yeah.
You'll see an old person that's there every day, sitting there, and they'll hit like $500, and they don't even blink an eye because they know they're just going to lose it right back, and they just keep going. And then you'll see somebody going crazy at a machine.
Yeah.
You walk over there and like $80. You're like,
It's true. Those people when they win jackpots probably don't get excited. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, now I only owe $6,000. It's so depressing, and there's so many people.
They're just addicted to it, right? Because it's not fun, not even fun for them anymore. So what do you go there for?
It's. I
Just
mean,
addicted.
there's some people who can enjoy the casino responsibly, and that's why we have. Everybody wants to go to the casino once a year or whatever, and that's why we have it. Should be illegal. It's legalized theft. It's at least an 80-20, I mean, they're legally allowed to just screw you. So it's like, why is that even legal?
well, I mean, I don't think you're legally allowed to play poker at your house. Like, you're not allowed to have friends over and
bet money.
bet money
Bet
on
money.
it. Something that doesn't hurt anybody, and is actually an even chance of everybody winning. But you can go to a place and have them steal all your money by cheating at this game,
Yeah.
and that's
But
legal.
you are volunteering for it, so that's how they.
Well, it's because they've paid the government off to legalize gambling as many places as they can.
No, it's the Indians. They're really into gambling,
Yeah.
and they love. That's one of the Indian traits is gambling. How did they get away? How did they manage to do that? That's just
somebody
something
had
they
a
made
brilliant
up.
idea.
Not the Indians.
No,
it's something
no,
someone else
Paleface.
came up with
Hey,
years ago of how
they came to
well,
one-
the Indians,
Yeah,
they are
yeah.
allowed to do certain things that we're not allowed to do. So let's just say the gambling is their game and give it to them, and they can open casinos, and we can.
You go to these, the top 6 Indians, and you say, hey, we're going to cut you in a little on this.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, a lot of money. We're going to just rake it in.
It can be a lot for us and a lot for you.
I mean, the Hard Rock in Tampa, they just had literally $1 billion edition, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got.
I think they fly people in from like United Emirates.
Oh yeah,
United
all
Arab
casinos.
Emirates.
Yeah, the
Fly
whales.
them in.
I
Well, then
mean,
you get it's a rib. It's like you're a whale. You get the free penthouse suite and the free fly-in and champagne service, while you're paying them millions of dollars in losses. They love it. Yeah, they'll give you free shit.
I
Figured
mean,
it out.
and if you just play smart at a casino, you can have a guy that goes in there and loses $50,000 every time, and they're going to treat him like a fucking king. And you could go in there with $100,000, and be a good bettor, and they're going to be like, you need to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't even let you win.
Yeah.
Oh, you're winning too much.
So how is that legal?
winning
How is
too
that
much.
part of it legal? That if you're winning too much, you're escorted out.
It's all proof that the government was paid off.
But do they do that
Yeah,
for real?
oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't.
Well, then how can they prove? How can? Why
They
am
don't-
I
I don't-
being
they don't
kicked
need-
out?
they
Well, do
just-
they don't even have to give you a reason?
no.
They don't say, "Why am I
don't
being
think they
kicked
have-
out?"
like,
do
you
they
can't-
say
you
because
can't-
you're winning too much?
You can't count cards in blackjack. And there's a way you're supposed to be able to count cards, and then you win.
Yeah.
But what if you're not doing that? What if you just
No, I'm
happens
just.
to be
But
lucky?
I'm saying, so that they kick you. You know, there's like they can legally kick you out for counting in your head. That shows how freaking corrupt
Yeah.
it is. And they can kick you out just because you won too much. And it's like, hey, well, it's
Yeah.
kind of suspicious. You're winning so much. It's almost impossible. Get out of here.
I don't know. I've just heard it from him, Dana White himself, saying, he gets kicked out of he's kicked out of, banned from almost every casino because I'm sure he's lost a lot of money, but he's like, but when I get up, I leave.
Well, yeah.
And he's
just like a
he's Dana
smart-
White, so like that's like you going with a 20 and being up $30,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm out. That wouldn't be too hard to do, but when you're doing $20,000 and you're up just I'm up 10, 20,000 other dollars, then you're just like, I'm out. Then they're like, get the fuck out of
That's
here.
not what they're looking for at all. They want you to let it ride.
They want
let
the
it
people
ride.
that are addicted to gambling.
Who was it we were talking about that said it was allegedly he owed like $3 million to a casino? Some performer,
Yeah.
like who was like did.
Oh, Bruno Mars.
Was it Bruno
Yeah.
Mars? Like he's like doing a residence at Vegas
Yeah.
in some hotel with a big theater, and they're paying him big money. I mean, it was like $10-20 million or something
Yeah.
like that, and they were saying he owed like 3.5 at the casino. And it's like, when you make, when you're making as much money as Bruno Mars, are you doing stuff like shit like that? 500,000 on red, and that's nothing to you. And they know you're good for it because they're paying you.
Yeah.
Why do you think the one thing that goes hand in hand with the casino is alcohol and addiction? Like everybody there is on some
Yeah.
type of drugs, and and they're drinking. I mean, I used to go up the street to Whiskey's More, and I get in there, and for the full first 5 hours of the night, or 4 hours I was there, I'd look at that, slot machine they got up there and be like, why the fuck would I ever play that? And then, by the very end of the night, after you have a bunch of drinks, like, let me see what I got. Let's do this.
My last $5.
Yeah, no, I lost it all. Let me put, I'll win if I put 10 more in it,
Hang on, I gotta go suck a dick, and then I'll have $10. Yeah, I guess they won't use this as an advertisement for casino.
No, probably not.
It's
Kegel said, "I've never seen anyone getting kicked out of a casino for winning." Maybe
it's because
maybe
nobody
they-
ever wins that much.
It's like 3 guys ever.
Maybe they don't.
It's so rare.
Maybe it
It's so
doesn't happen
rare.
too often.
No, I doubt. Doesn't probably happen much at all because it's really hard to win a lot. It's a crapshoot. 2 out of 10 people are happy, I guess. But they're only happy part of the time. Then it's probably by the end of the evening, it's 10 out of 10 losers, except for the one Dana White who left.
I'm sure everybody knows the guy I'm talking about because I see him on TikTok all the time and Facebook. But he's like, I don't know, he's got some tats on his face and he's like the best gambler ever or whatever. And I just want to know, how much is he bullshitting? Like, he'll tell you, I guess he does know like the odds of everything, which will help you in the casino. But I just can't imagine that if this guy went to the casino and I knew a little more about poker than I do now, I got into knowing how to play poker. And he sat at my table. Is it going to be like me compared to a professional athlete? He's just going to roast me, or is it like?
That's why I never got about like the World Series of Poker and these guys are these guys are the best poker. It's like if you're the world's greatest poker player and we play one hand and I get dealt 3 aces, it's almost guaranteed I'm going to win, even though I know nothing. I started off with 3 aces and and you just didn't, you got nothing.
Archie Karras.
That could happen. What is that?
That's a guy, Archie Karras.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. So I don't know how you. I don't understand. Like I get the bluffing. I guess somehow
Yeah.
you know how to bluff, and that's why. But there's no more.
I don't think you really the bluffing deal is just like being a lie. They're good liars, you know. That's what I'm thinking it is, because I think you just say anybody can say they're good at poker, and you're gonna, you know, it's all mental, because if you're like, I'm good at poker, then people are like, oh, he's good at poker, but you're not. You're just a better.
And what enrages me about the World Series of Poker is, it's like the whole thing about poker is really bluffing.
Yeah.
You know? And now they all wear sunglasses, like scuba masks and helmets, and you can't see their face. And it's like, that's what made a good poker player, was your ability to con people into thinking you did or didn't have a
Are
good
you
hand.
allowed to do that at the regular casino? Like, can I walk up to the poker table and be like, I'll take a hand?
I don't know.
I bet you
I'm
can't.
all in.
I bet
Because
you can't.
they don't
I bet
want.
you
That's
can't.
not a thing in real poker. It's covering up your.
It's the whole purpose.
Yeah,
It's-
so they should have never
poker
allowed
face.
that. But that, I guess that's what they were like.
It's ridiculous. You
this
get a
is
bunch
what-
of people, you know.
Yeah, hiding
That
themselves.
kind of defeats the purpose. And
bet
then you
you-
watch that on TV, a bunch of people like this with no expression, because
I think
they're
they've.
infuriating. You think what?
I don't know, everything else, you know, even in UFC, you want a guy that's going to put on a show. Like, I can't believe you put poker on TV and then be like, you can't see anybody, though.
It's preposterous. It's like, poker. Yeah, poker is fun when you got some people over at your house and you got some beers and you're just playing to do something while you have a good time. You know,
But
it's not entertaining
I
to
think
watch
poker is. I don't think it's. I mean, is it even that fun when it becomes that? When you're playing at your house to have fun, but then everybody starts getting serious about it, and then there's not really a lot of fun being had anymore. You're just everybody's too serious about playing
Especially
the
if
poker.
you lose the money, then you're like,
and then you might just be addicted to it, doing it, as opposed to having fun anymore.
yeah.
At one of my
I think
old
so.
houses, you know, I was living there, and some kids I knew that I went to high school with were like, hey, you want to hang out, you know, this weekend? They're in town or whatever. I was like, yeah. They were like, yeah, let's play a little poker or whatever. When I said, you know, play a little poker or whatever, I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know how to play poker, but who cares? We're going to play one game of poker
Yeah.
and then move to beer pong, or, you know, have a party, or
Yeah.
cook some food or something. Nah, man, that was the worst day of my life. You know, I sat there it just turned into these guys, you know, like it's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's got the guys in the basement playing poker or
Yeah.
whatever. And, you know, they were just all really into it and sat there for like 8 hours playing poker. Like, at one point, I'm like, I'm going somewhere else. You guys just gonna be here playing poker? Like,
Well, I mean, you weren't playing.
no, they're like, oh, I was like, oh, I don't know how to play, but we'll just chill, you know, after y'all are done playing. And they were like, oh, it's kind of a serious game.
So were you sitting on a couch for
Well,
8
for the
hours?
first hour, they're like, oh, just watch and, you know, learn how to play.
That didn't
And
happen, did it?
I sat there for like a half hour, just like, I don't even, you know, they're in a serious game, so
Yeah,
they're not
gonna
be like
teaching me
they're
how to
not
play.
teaching me. I'm just standing behind some guy with some cards, and he's giving them away for other cards. That's what I saw for 30 minutes.
Sounds like a blast.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah. that's what-
I've never seen anyone having fun playing poker.
I don't know. I ain't been around. I never did much
Never.
poker playing. I remember we went to this one guy. He was on our softball team, and he had a craps table.
Yeah.
And you know, he had we did a whole craps thing, you know, for the most of the evening. And I was like, you know, it was done. I was like, well, that was kind of fun. I don't ever want to do it again.
I remember going and doing that. I don't. You know, I think he took it real serious too, right?
Yeah, it was real serious.
Like, I mean, he was like saying he was practicing his rolling.
He was all about it.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I was like, yeah, for one time, but no, I'd rather just hang out. I don't need a diversion like that.
What is craps?
That-
I don't even do. should
It's
even
dice.
try-
Dice.
Yeah.
Dice. Yeah, it's just the same. Yeah.
What am I trying? What's my objective in
Oh,
dice?
there's
Lots of objectives. All right, never mind.
So you spend like the first 20 minutes trying to figure out all the different bets and what's good and what's bad. Yeah, if you get a certain number, then a certain thing adds. Nah, too much math for me. there was like one bet you could bet on a certain like 50-50, and that's
Yeah.
what I just bet the 50-50 all the time. Because I don't know, I don't want to learn about that crap still.
Hopefully, there's not a bunch of gamblers in the chat.
Weston said played poker last night, but for money, just for fun. I don't know what that means.
But for
Not
money,
for
Not
maybe
for
he
money,
meant
just for fun.
not for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I've
I
tried.
mean, if you like, I don't. If you want to go to a casino, it's like a cruise. We don't care if you want to go on a cruise. We just, really don't like them. If you like them, let's go have a good time. Actually, Crazy Horse USA sent me this cruise video.
Was it a?
It's like he said. So you want to go on a cruise? Let me see,
Oh.
I
where's
don't.
Where's the volume? Here's the volume. I got it.
We got a storm.
Yeah.
Blowing chairs and everything.
Watch the people.
Oh my god, that guy fell.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that guy fell. Oh my god.
Now that had to come out.
It come out of nowhere,
Come
right?
out, come out of nowhere,
Ugh.
right? Because all these people are outside enjoying the.
Or this is what a cruise is. Everybody's just so shit faced that it started raining. I was like, yeah, I'm on a cruise, whatever, and then it got real bad slowly.
You'd think they would. The captain's got the radar.
These people couldn't
No,
stand.
he
These
would
people
know.
couldn't stand up before the wind.
That's entirely possible.
See, I would think we were gonna die.
Yeah, Donna would.
I would be like, oh my god. And if
She'd
the
be
if it's
yeah.
going like this, I would just think
Oh.
we're dying. This thing's tipping over. And
See,
we're
that
gonna be
seems
dead.
like the only time. Like if I went on a cruise, this seems like the only time I would enjoy right here if I'm on this
So
cruise.
you like that part of it.
This part, I'd be like, the food was all right. And I guess we got the drink and everything. But that windstorm, that was fucking crazy. Yeah. Look at it. Look at it.
Trace's picture here. That's the part he likes.
This is the part I like.
Oh
right
Jesus!
here.
What?
Right there.
We got that on there. Hey, there you go.
That's what Trace would be on the upper deck of the of the cruise.
The best day of the cruise. There's Trace on his favorite day of the cruise. The only time he had a good time.
That's like my brother likes turbulence on an airplane.
Oh, I like turbulence on an airplane too. Terrified of heights.
God,
8
no.
step on the ladder gets me, but I can be, 6 miles in the sky hitting turbulence. Like, woo,
It's 'cause
makes me
you've-
feel light.
It's because you've never had any real turbulence.
No,
probably.
not real
but
turbulence. I just like
Like
the.
that six,
I mean, when
600
they-
feet dropping
yeah,
in
when
half a
they
second.
drop, it's like,
That's crazy.
God.
That freaks me. I don't like how much the wings bend on a plane. That's the only thing that gets me. And you look out, and they're kind of like.
Yeah. I'm not looking to fly again. Ever again.
I know. I hope I never have to.
Things it's getting worse. Quality's getting worse.
Yeah, the planes are falling apart. and-
Yeah. Oh, I got
man.
nailed with a chip. You could get killed by flying.
Yeah.
He thought he was being
Right to the-
safe, scooting like that. He's going to get some splinters in his butthole.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, one of those chairs comes and wrecks you in the face and
look
knock
at-
out all your teeth.
Easy. Look, bam.
He's- oh,
That guy.
That guy took a running start. What was that guy thinking?
He's got his butt cracks all over the internet now. Look at those chairs flying.
man, that's a serious storm. Where
Oh,
are
there
those
goes-
chairs coming from? I mean, look at those people scooting along.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sure that's a rarity, but we'll take the beach house, man. You go in and you watch TV while that storm's going on.
Yeah.
Don't even know.
Yeah.
Don't even know.
And I remember going to that beach house and just like, I'm sure I wasn't even paying, but still, when there'd be a storm, like you might get a little bit worried at your house when there's a storm, and you're kind of looking through, like, I hope nothing comes through the window. You know, I hope this doesn't happen. Nothing blows away. When you're at a beach house and you're like, it's probably not raining at my house. All my stuff is good. I don't care if a fucking tree comes through this goddamn window. What the fuck is it to me? Hey, you know,
You don't have to worry.
I might not
You're gonna-
even stop watching TV. I might just call a person and be like, tree fell through the fucking window. I'm watching SpongeBob.
Yep. That's it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry at all.
That's how renters feel.
Every time there's a storm around here, like, oh, pine trees, pine trees.
Even renting, you still gotta, you know, you have to find a new place to rent. Like, this is, you got another house. Like, you're carefree, or a hotel or anything like that. I mean, you wouldn't even be, if you were at a hotel and you went out to the restaurant and you came back and the hotel collapsed, you'd be like, oh well.
Yeah.
No well.
Like 2 pairs of pants in there.
I gotta find my violin version.
What does Snookman say? You guys should forget Anna Maria Island.
Oh, we forgot.
A lot less busy beaches, just a little more south and a lot cheaper. You mean
What-
go a little
what-
more
oh,
south?
give
like
it-
what,
give us-
Bradenton?
Give us some
You gotta
names.
know. You gotta
Longboat
realize
Key.
that Anna Maria Island was the furthest place they've ever been in their life. Like growing up as a kid, I thought it was so much further away. Like I thought it was so far. It's like it was the longest time I've ever spent in the car with my parents driving. Was like an hour and 15 minutes away to Anna Maria Island.
Yeah, you may be right.
That's you know what? We would, because, people would come home, or we'd have to maybe go home one day, it's like, I don't, that's
Not
far,
back,
it's
not
just-
back in the day. It
That's
took till I got older to be like, I could actually go to work and then come here. Like that's not like.
That was the best. It
It was like a great place and not too far to drive.
and so we get it like for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and the first week would be my vacation. I had to take a week, and then the next week, it was still you guys' vacation because it was summer.
Yeah.
And I would just commute because it was like 45 minutes to the
Just
station.
over the Sunshine
It was
Skyway
like
or
no
whatever.
big deal at all. And driving in, at 4:30 in the morning,
No
you're
traffic.
the only guy on the road. And then come 10:30, headed back to the beach, take a nap, and then go lay out on the beach. It was the best.
Awesome.
And I mean, they just made it a giant, rich people's tourist trap.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
ruined it.
You can't touch that stuff. The prices have quadrupled.
The problem with the problem with finding places to go. The way things are now as well, if you don't know, you don't know. Like, all the most expensive places are going to be the most advertised whenever you look it up because those are, a lot of the cheaper places won't advertise. And if they do, the other people pay more for them to show it pop up first. It's hard to find a place where you can just
true.
go. I'm sure there's places if you know them.
If you know, you know. And
If you know, you know.
And if you know, you're happy about that. If you can find a you know place, if you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Without being known.
That used to be Anna Maria Island, and
Yeah.
then the internet, shows now the internet. Somebody discovers one of those if you know places, it blows up, and people from all over the world go there, and then you're screwed because the supply and demand takes over, and everything's totally jacked up.
Sean
Internet
Raz
ruined
says
everything.
down where they are, Englewood Beach is awesome. But then Crystal Gale says, shut up. Quit telling everybody. McMahon's down that way too.
That's a long drive down there.
It is a long drive.
Yeah, see, the only issue I have with stuff like that is you gotta stay for a while. If I'm going, like when I go to, I've been to just Marco Island and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and stayed for like one night.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that was 3-hour drive. Get there, hang out, have some drinks, and then you wake up the next day and you can kind of chill there, but you stayed up late drinking. It's 11 o'clock when you get up and get out of the room, and then you're like, fuck, now I gotta put all my bags in the car and just kind of chill here for a couple hours till I gotta go home.
Yeah. Well, Marco Island was always good. I wonder what that's like now, though.
I mean, it was pretty hoity-toity back in the day. Marco Island. Like it's a kind of a rich people.
We stayed at that one hotel just
For what, the Bubba?
The Pagans and Potheads.
Oh, did I do Pagans and Potheads
Yeah.
there? Are you sure?
Yep. Remember John came down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh,
I think if I ever go to the Keys again, I'm gonna have to stay at least 3 or 4 days. Me and Lauren stayed there for 2 days.
That's not even worth the drive.
It was a good time. I enjoyed it, but we were just in such a rush the whole time.
Yeah.
And Lauren was like, I don't know if she got food poisoning or something for like 8 hours or so one of the days, and we just, I wanted to. We're in the Keys, man. I want to go fishing. I want to go snorkeling. I want to go, they got a bunch of bars down there, a bunch of clubs, and renting a scooter and everything. I just didn't have time for nothing.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever make it down to the Keys.
Oh, it was awesome.
I'd go to Pine Island before I go to the Keys. They said they made the beach there nicer, Pine Island.
Yeah.
They redid all the stuff because the hurricane took out all the...
Is it open yet? Did they open it back up?
Finally opened it up.
That's like see, that's a spot you could fucking know 10, 15 years ago. Now you go there and it's just... it's not a very big beach, so there's just like not very big parking. So you sit there for like a half hour because they gotta let a person out for you to come in.
Oh man!
And sometimes there'll be a line for.
See, I used to go there when I was in high school, and I got pictures of us on the beach and stuff there. But there was never anybody there when I was in high school. We just
Secrets
always
getting out.
Yeah,
I mean they have a drink and stuff.
They have a sign by the Wikiwachi that says whether or not Pine Island's at capacity, and it's never not at capacity.
Wow.
It's only beach for miles, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why it's like there's no real beaches around there. That's why I go there, is because like. What am I going to go all the way to Clearwater? I just want to go, if I'm not getting a hotel or something, and I just want to go down to the beach and grab a tan and maybe do a little fishing during the day. I'm not driving all the way to fucking Clearwater. That's an ordeal with parking. And I'm just trying to go lay out on the beach, man.
So what would you give a Pine Island if as far as going to the beach? What would you rate it?
That's a hard one. You got a lot of people around you. You kind of jammed in a little bit. Last time, it was all right. I'll give it a 6 out of 10, just because it's so jam packed.
So it never had anything like it didn't have a boardwalk, nothing. I think they have. Isn't that what got blown out was the boardwalk or something? Did they have a boardwalk?
Almost everything.
There was a little restaurant
the sidewalks, any shelters, everything got ruined, and it took them forever to fix it because it's a government kind of deal.
Yeah.
But now it's open. Yippee! Big news. Pine Island's open. The cat's out of the bag. If you know, you know.
I'm going.
There's the beer can island. They bought that for what was it?
$60,000.
They're selling it for like $14 million.
I know.
And there's a guy that is I think he was a lawyer or something. He's trying to get people to pitch in and buy it. And it's like, and he thinks that they can get around whatever the Hillsborough, the government has been doing to those people. They wouldn't let him build anything on it.
They were totally
And I don't know why he thinks that, well, if the people buy it, then we can, work with them to get, and it's like, they don't want anyone doing that.
I got 5 on it.
That's what those guys tried to do. And they're trying to get like people to pitch in $500, $1,000.
$5 something.
I think they said.
I think they had like $500,000
they had $500,000 raised. It's like, but they want $14 million for it. That's a lot more money than $500,000.
Maybe it's a rib, and they're going to take the money and run. They're going to go, okay, if we get $1 million for this, we only invested Of course, they did invest a lot of money afterwards.
Yeah.
They built a lot of shit out there, tiki huts and
temporary
docks and
things.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they put a lot into it. I mean, there's a couple
They
shacks
wanted
on
to
it.
build a restaurant and bathrooms and stuff on it, and that stupid little twerp that in Hillsborough County
I mean,
that was against it.
don't we have bigger problems than somebody trying to make an island hangout
Yeah.
in the bay?
It's like, what the fuck?
Big
That
fucking
shouldn't
fuck.
even be their business. It just should be. It's none of your fucking business what I'm doing at her. Who the fuck are you to tell me that I can't put something on my island that I bought?
I
Fuck
mean, that-
off. That's
you
what
know,
you should
at
be able to
that-
tell them.
At that point, it feels to me like we're living in a country that is borderline teetering on that is too fun. I mean, I think they've done that. Been doing that for years. That it's too much free fun.
Too much
free fun.
Yep. We got to get our
Yeah.
hands involved.
Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be able to have any say in that at all. Fuck off.
They can do whatever they want. See, that just goes to show. You can think you're cool. You got an
make
island.
these people have to sell their fucking
Yeah.
island because you're a fucking fat little toad that doesn't want anyone to have any fun.
Yep. Or somehow it was going to infringe on you making money somehow. Somehow they had to stop.
Yeah, they
That
started with,
precedent. The local bars by the
dangerous to have the rescue people can't get out there. What about anybody out on a boat?
maybe the restaurants, you know, the oceanside restaurants where people would pull up with their boats. Nobody was going because they'd go into the tiki bar out there.
I mean,
had to be some kind of
or,
reason like
you
that.
know, it could be a little bit with the Coast Guard deal too. After going to Gasparilla, you know, I didn't realize how bitchy people are and how, I mean, just going to Gasparilla, we saw 15, 20, 30 people getting carried out on stretchers. Just, you know, a lot of fat people, a lot of, you know, dehydrated people out of this. So, I mean, that you could end up, if it was a poppin' place, having to bay flight out 2 people a day from this island. I mean,
you're
you
right.
don't realize,
You're right.
you know, how bitchy people are about, and, oh, I'm hurt. You know, everybody's, I'm hurt now and out of shape and having heart attacks and...
I think every time there's a football game, like 2 people die in Tampa Stadium, heart attacks.
Yeah,
And I think that's pretty.
Well, then they would have to deal with having some kind of medical staff out there.
And who wants to do that?
Well, I mean, that's up to them if they wanted to do it, but they should be allowed to.
You gotta have a full-time EMT out there with the
helicopter.
with the shocker things
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, you can't do
You
it.
have to
What
have your own
about
hospital?
Oh, I think
what
they should
about
be able to do it.
a cruise ship? Look how many people they have. Way more people than on that island.
Yeah, different type of people. You know, these are employees that are, I don't know, when you get in a party atmosphere, a lot more people, you know, it's not just hard, you know, people are doing drugs and drinking alcohol and getting hurt a lot more.
So speaking of what you're talking about with the cruise ship, babe, just yesterday I saw there was a pregnant woman who had to get Coast Guarded off a cruise ship on one of the, you know, they put her in one of those things and had to haul her up and take her to the mainland because she was having complications, and the cruise said, we don't have the medical facilities for, you know, she could have had her baby here.
Yeah.
But we can't handle this. And can you imagine being pregnant? Because
Why
why are
would
you
you go
going
on
on
a
a cruise
cruise?
when you're
About to give
about to
birth.
give birth?
Even a month away from having, 2 months, I'd be like, no, that cruise might cause me to go into labor early or something.
And now I'm getting Coast Guarded to a hospital in Guadalajara. Holy shit!
I mean, do you even ask them? Like, do you just go on? Are you like, can I have a baby on here? And they're like, oh, sure.
They should have like
Like the rides. Pregnant people can't go on the ride.
yeah. They
on this
measure,
roller
they measure
coaster.
your belly. You got a little belly thing you got to stick in there. No, we ain't taking that risk. Sorry. More discrimination against women, but I think it's justified. You can't go on a cruise if you're 9
Have
months
they
pregnant.
ever found anybody that's fallen off a cruise?
No, never.
I mean, I don't
think
think
so.
I don't know if they ever have. Like, I watched this one guy that said he was like a Coast Guard or whatever, and he's like, just when you fall off, you know, those motors, they're the size of this room, they create so much suction.
Suck you in.
90% chance you're gonna just get sucked in.
They don't tell anybody that because they actually see the guy all chopped up, and they're like, "Yeah, shh, let's just keep going."
And then all the sewage and trash and everything falling off the boat. They say these ships are just.
You're gonna make Sean
they're
mad.
Trash barges.
They're but the sharks just follow them like crazy.
That's true too.
Because all the stuff falling off them, so the sharks following them.
It's like
the birds following you when you mow.
Yeah, the hawks. Stir up the stuff. Like you can see videos like from oil platforms out.
Yeah.
And what do you got to do on an oil platform? Throw in your leftovers to see the sharks get it. So as soon as they'll throw shit in there. As soon as it hits the water, 6 or 7 sharks are like, which that's not normal.
No.
They're hanging out there, so they're following this.
Maybe that's
ship.
why they don't have the jet ski recoveries. They're like,
I ain't getting out there.
We know what happens to them. We just don't tell everybody.
It's probably a 100-foot wide chum trail of feces and food and trash.
What kind of world do we live in when all that and all these cruise ships? Nobody just say, you've never heard it on the news. They went missing on the cruise ship, and nobody ever comes on. It's like, and they probably got eaten up by the propeller. That's
Nobody's ever said
it's too
that.
edgy to say, but it's probably what happened.
It's too
Yeah,
gruesome,
because
too gruesome.
you can't fall or jump far enough out to where you're not
right there.
within,
right next to the boat.
Yeah.
What are you gonna jump from a rail like 5 feet out?
Yeah.
At top.
So when they go
you're lucky
past
you,
you,
don't bash your head on the boat when you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done for. Plus, if you're falling between 8 and 13 stories,
Yeah.
you're hitting the wall. You're probably losing consciousness.
Yeah.
You're
getting sucked right in there.
You
Yeah.
know, 80 to 100 feet or more. You ain't doing a swan dive and going in clean with no splash. You're hitting the concrete.
Slapping.
You're slapping. Yeah, you're done. All right. So
I've jumped out of a freaking tree at Wiki Watching and hit the water so hard my feet hurt. It was like 40 feet up at most.
at most.
At
I
most.
don't
Maybe
think
probably
it's
30.
Yeah,
30,
it's not
35
40
tops.
feet.
No.
This was a tall one, maybe 25 feet I was up.
Are you?
It was 8 feet. It was 8 feet. I won't lie. I was 8 feet in the air.
It was. It was. No, it was pretty high. It's probably 25 feet.
Not
Maybe
that one.
20,
Not the
25.
one platform.
Think of it too. It definitely was not a 4-story building.
No, it wasn't that for sure.
Well, you weren't there when I was. This was the
I've
one they
seen-
cut down.
I've seen it on some
I've
tall
seen
ones.
them on
Yeah.
the tall ones, which I hate.
It was 20 feet.
Have you ever been to Adventure Island and they have that little cliff that's about 8 feet?
Yeah.
Well, I can barely jump off.
I
of
had to
that.
go back down there.
Donna had to go back down. The,
Well, it's like,
the
what?
8-foot jump.
I never realized how big of pussies you guys were until I went to Adventure Island the first time. Because I mean, my whole, I remember you guys telling me that as a kid. You're like, and they have this 10-foot wall, and it's scary to jump. It's almost
Because you see the bottom of the pool. You don't see. You can't like.
It's not that far.
And then I went there, and I was like, 10 years old, and I'm like, this isn't scary at all.
Hey, I went on all those rides. What was the one that they eventually shut down? They shut that down because some guy had a heart attack or something. It's like, come on. Some guys are going to have heart attacks. What the hell was the name of that? The Scream? No.
I don't know. It was a straight down slide.
Yeah, straight down. It like, when you looked at it, it looked like there would be a point where you just flew off.
Yeah, it did look like that.
And it was that's what made it so scary. You're like, that doesn't. It's like the one in Iowa or wherever where it cut the people's heads off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so pissed at that because, seeing that ride, being a kid, I never went on it. And like the second I was like, oh, I want to go ride that, I'm finally old enough.
I'm old enough.
Got rid of it.
According to a report from the Cruise Lines International Association, there were 212 overboard incidents from 2009 to 2019, and only 48 or 28% of those who fell overboard were successfully rescued. So some people do get rescued, I guess.
How much percent?
28.
28%.
Yeah, so like
48 people out of 212.
Huh. I wonder. Yeah, you'd have to know the details, how far they fell, or what what the deal was.
Yeah.
It's not a
How
good.
big-
It's not good though. You know, if you're 1 in 4, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die. It's not a good idea.
This was in 2023, and it said at least 10 people on cruise ships went overboard this year, and 2 miraculously survived.
You don't really hear about the survivors much.
No.
I'd like to know more about that.
What about that guy that was drunk? Remember the guy that was
Just
drunk?
recently?
No, we
No.
played the thing, and we were like, what is going on there? Was that from a cruise ship? I'm trying to think if he said he passed out and then came to, and we were like, well, you couldn't pass out and not drown and then come to.
I can't
You'd already
remember.
be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, it was a fishy story, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
A
very
fishy story.
weird.
I can't remember. All right, we back. We got to take a break, man.
Yeah.
Jerry gonna be here
Oh,
soon.
shoot.
We've been gabbing and gabbing. All right, thanks for tuning in to ClusterF. We'll be right back after a little Deadly Mandingo.
Put your picture back.
Oh, hit it, Cheech.
Hey, Jews, you're finally dead. Took your ex-wife and then you cut her. You sliced her, you really tore her apart. Your knife so sharp went in like butter. Hey, Jews, are you afraid? You and Satan are about to wrestle. Down in hell, you will pay for your sins. You'll have to bend over for the devil. You'll have to give Ted Bundy brain. They'll make a train inside of your cheeks. Satan's dick will smolder. Oh God. The lake of fire waits for you. Hey Jews, you're screwed. Saddam Hussein wants you to touch his boner. They both got slaughtered. You got nada. Yeah. Hey Jews, you're in the ground. Killed your wife like you were Jack the Ripper. They found your bloody glove in the yard, but you played the race card and got acquitted. The fucking glove, it didn't fit. Cock rinsed the shit. So you hit the links to find the real killer. You wrote a book and said that you, the Jews, killed 2. You got off scot-free. You were a baller. They both got slaughtered. You got nada. Hey, Jews, you're finally dead. Killed your ex-wife and killed her lover. You sliced your ex-wife under her chin, and for that sin, you burn forever, ever, 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 ever. Oh, you killed your baby mama. She suffered trauma. Hey, Jews, you cut them under their jaw. Climb back over the wall. Hey, Jews, killed them, and then you were gone. Oh, fuck Johnny Law. Hey, Jews.
riding slow in your Bronco. Go, OJ, go. Hey, Juicy Juice is going down the hill. You were a big football star, but you played the race card. Hey, Juicy played the race card and then he got off. Judgito did a bad job. Killer got off. Hey, Juicy Juice, Juice, you know we got off free. Judgito did a bad job. Killer got off. Hey, Juice, you caught Ron Goldman off guard. Now you're in a graveyard. Hey, Juice, killed them. Then Juice said, ta-ta, I'll get nada. Hey, Juice, you ran for 2,000 yards. You can't kill a star. Hey, Juice, you killed your baby mama. She suffered trauma. Hey, Juice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the United States of America.
Holy crap, what a shithole. 1970s technology. If I was Disney, I'd be embarrassed. Just saying.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Donald.
Yeah, pipe it down, rookie.
The Donald's just trying to spice things up. It's a little boring around here.
Look, pal, we've been doing this shit for decades and nobody ever goes off script. We say our lines, then we clock out.
Then it's party time.
There's this Disney World, man. There's 20-year-old girls dressed like princesses who are looking to suck my dick.
I agree with Bill. Last night I nailed those two frozen bitches hard. Very hard.
You're a hell of a wingman, JFK.
Look, that all sounds like fake news to me. I'm the Donald, this place is a shithole, and it's a sausage party.
407 years ago.
Oh, pipe it down, Abe.
Yeah, aren't you late for the theater?
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down those bananas.
Looks like Ronnie's off his meds again.
This is a shithole. It sucks. Can we get Putin in here, please? Putin knows how to entertain people.
Look, Donald, this gig is so dull I started doing blow again. And if I don't make it to Cinderella's castle by 7, Prince Charming's gonna sell my 8-ball to somebody else.
Excuse me. Oh, geez, what do you want, George? Boring. I did not nearly starve and freeze to death at Valley Forge. To
Fake
have people
news.
like you destroy this great
Oh,
country.
shut the fuck
We're
up.
sick of Valley Forge. Shut up.
Fake news.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. Hey, put a sock
We
in
get
it.
it, you freed the slaves.
Fake news. Mr. Gorgonzola, take down my pants.
Read my lips.
Bully. Oh, for God's sakes, we're burning
The
daylight.
only thing we have to fear
It's
is...
herpes, but I got condoms.
For God's sake, my car's double parked. Where's my jelly bean?
I'm Barack Obama.
Okay, who invited the black guy?
Shut up.
You shut up.
Both of you shut up.
Look, we've all forgotten why we're here.
Trying to get laid.
I want to grab Snow White by the pussy.
I hear Minnie Mouse gives a mean hand job.
Daisy Duck said she'd blow me on the teacups.
I will build a giant wall around Disney World.
And make Walt Disney pay for it.
Is the Little Mermaid legal yet?
4 score. Oh, shut up, Abe.
Fake
7
news.
Put a
years ago.
fucking sock
Oh,
in.
fourth Can somebody
Fourth
unplug this
phone is
asshole?
fake
Conceived
news.
in
Read my
Bully,
lips.
bully.
Is area legal? Fake news.
Let's go get laid.
Pretty impressive for the violin. Not impressed at all. Not impressed. Too busy trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace. Now, do you know that, like, guitar solo there?
Yeah.
From the Eddie Van Halen Eruption. The world's most famous guitar solo.
I don't know how impressed I am.
Why?
I don't know. It's just
because it's pretty hard to do.
Just whittling away on
I mean, she's got it note for note. She's got it. It's like it, and it's it sounds like a guitar as well. Not really.
But it's just like an electric violin that they make sound like a guitar, right?
I don't know. Maybe she's got a tape playing in the background, and she ain't doing shit for all I know. She's a guitar hero. Trey says, "No, big.
I'm not impressed. Like,
not impressed.
Like, where is she? How much of this? Pause it real quick. Like, is this a show?
I believe
I would imagine, after the first one, you're like, all right, I get it. She can play the fucking guitar. I'm not going, even if it's a guitar, I'm still like.
Looks like a big kind of production, man.
It does.
I don't know.
You're in Vegas or something.
Can't tell what kind of audience it is.
There's 8 people there.
Yeah, I imagine that would get a little, after the first song.
Are you going to see that show?
No, I'm not going to see it. I'm definitely not doing it.
I mean, if you tried to tell me we're going to do that, I'm going to try everything I can to be like, let's not go do that. No, but she plays what is it? Plays the
violin.
She plays the violin, but it's real good. It sounds like a guitar for an hour, man. She plays it just like they do the guitar.
Does it for an hour and a half sometimes. She really gets into it. Tell me if you've ever. Oh, where'd it go? If you've ever had this kind of speedometer, Trace. Tell me if you've ever had this kind of speedometer.
Yes, I absolutely have.
I think hasn't everybody had this speedometer? The death wobble goes up to 45, and then the death wobble, and you're like, it's only a certain speed.
Maybe not.
Sometimes, usually mine's smaller. Then if you go faster, sometimes the death
it'll go away.
75. The death wobble goes away.
Oh, I've had so many shaky cars. Usually it's the tires, but then you get a death wobble.
Death wobble. Everybody gets the death wobble. You were talking.
Well, hold on. You ever thought you had like the death wobble? Well, probably not. You're not having as many shitty cars as me. But have you ever had like your car will shake for like a year or like 6 months, and you're like, man, I don't know what the fuck it is. And then you go to get new tires, and then you pull off, and you're like, wow, I just been driving on a bad tire for a year.
I don't know. I can't remember how I resolved my death wobble issues. Usually just getting a new car. I think you mentioned this a while ago. You're talking about how they hunt pigs.
Yeah.
Like in Texas. With helicopters and machine guns, like fully auto machine guns.
Oh, yeah, blow them away.
And it's like, since they're considered, I guess, a nuisance animal, they talk about, their ads are like, yeah, you can just light up these pigs with a machine gun, and, because they're vermin.
It's very, it's very confusing to me because, pigs do destroy everything.
Yeah.
And they breed they have like three litters a year of like 12 pigs. You know, it's something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for man, pigs would have taken over the world.
Maybe, or they'd just be where they're supposed to be. We would have brought them other places like assholes and had to shoot them out of a fucking helicopter.
Where they have no predators. You're right. You're right. Yeah, here's a little. I think it's called Hella Bacon.
Are we having to watch them kill pigs?
Well, if they're gonna shoot at them, I don't know if they're gonna show the. Hey, look, you get to sit on this helicopter. And then just blammo. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I think something's wrong with you if you want to do that.
You know,
I mean,
like, but I could see how most people are like, you know, they're that's all a lot of people here, and I've never heard anybody argue that fact. But the fact that I want to argue is you're still, you know, killing these animals that are pretty intelligent, you know, even though. You could almost trick me into being like, well, they're, you know, a nuisance animal, so it's good for the environment.
And it's a machine gun.
It's a machine gun, but you're still killing, you know, these innocent animals that didn't do anything wrong besides be carried over on ships by humans to a place they're not supposed to be, so they ruin the environment because they have no predators because we did this. Like, we are nobody says that we're the original people that brought these pigs to places.
They like to say anything they want to kill is a nuisance animal.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, they say that about like deer sometimes. Well, they're taking over or whatever. You got to thin them out. And it's like, it says who? And what happens if we don't?
Well, they starve to death.
Do they really, though, or do they just say that?
Well, I mean, that's what they say. See, I don't know how the deer population around here doesn't just explode. Other than getting hit by a car, there ain't no predators around here for deer. And it seems like you got the same amount of deer. You know, a lot. There's a lot of deer around here, but they aren't exploding. It seems like and people even feed them and shit.
Yeah, but I think it's just, you know, still that area. We're still in a far enough. At least this part of Wesley Chapel. There's some people that are gonna feed those and shoot them if they're in their backyard.
You think they're getting a lot of them are getting shot?
Not a lot, but, you know, I'm thinking of, you know, a lot. You don't see a lot of bucks around here.
No.
I mean, I think there's still plenty of houses out in this area that somebody sees out in their backyard. Like, go get the gun. There's buck in my backyard.
That's what our neighbor there did. Shot it. Well, he said it was the biggest buck he'd seen around here, so he shot it with an arrow and didn't quite kill it, and then he had to go finish it off. Kablooey. It's like, so you can't, you know. To me, that's not sporting. These deer are, you know, they're wandering around the neighborhood.
Yeah, and he used to have a deer feeder out there, too.
That's not cool.
And he got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, but still, if you think about it sporting, you know, if you start thinking about it, you know, after eating a little bit of deer and being more into meats, you're not thinking like, I'm going to shoot this buck, you know, for sport, you know. No, you're just like, look at that nice fucking steak out. Look at that. That's a year's worth of meat in my cooler for free.
Really, you think so?
That's what I
Is it that good? Venison that good?
It's not, you know, a lot of people really like it and like the backstrap, but I mean, some people just eat that, you know, they'll feel they won't, you know, and it's so much better for you than close to anything you can buy at the store.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to, you know, beef and pork, it's all not naturally raised on this poisonous corn.
Shoot deer thinking all that stuff, Trace. I think they like to shoot a big buck and get a picture with it.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think
people,
I think these guys are mentally ill. They pay like this is like $5,000, you know, to go to this place and do this stuff. Look at them. Look how they're just getting off on just killing as many hogs as they can.
That's just shitty to me. I don't know.
See, they don't even show it. They know that would turn off a lot of people. They don't even show it.
Mission has always been to deliver safe and professional, unforgettable lifetime experiences. We use the internal slogan.
I don't even see how you could do that with normal people and them not shoot each other in the foot. Or
you're trusting somebody with a machine gun
right next to you.
I mean, just being a person that takes a lot of people going out fishing, and then you know you're like, all right, well, let's all go fishing, and then your friend, you know, first cast, you're like, oh, this motherfucker has never been fishing a day. It doesn't know how to fish at all. I mean, I can't imagine people taking people out like that on gut with these guns hanging out of an airplane and not one of them accidentally shooting each other.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
when he turns to talk to the other guy.
I mean, they're you can see they're strapped.
Yeah.
They all have a safety strap, but there's nothing to keep this guy from. Hey, buddy, and then the whole helicopter's taken down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys bite it. I don't know, man. Let's see what their mission
the
is.
Internal slogan "Skids Up," which focuses the team around our company's core purpose. This means we're dedicated to delivering experiences at the highest level of excellence. We take care of all the behind-the-scenes work so that when clients arrive, we're there to meet them. We're ready to go. Aircraft's fueled up, pre-flight checks are done, mags are loaded. It's your event. We're ready to make it awesome.
Oh, girls love it too.
Oh, we love to slaughter animals.
Skids up. Let's go fly.
Look at that. Both sides, man. That's an accident waiting to happen. These aren't professional, soldiers who are not even using a machine gun. A Gatling gun. We're entering the Roman times, Trace. The Roman times are here.
I'd be more, into it if I liked eating pigs.
Like bacon.
Bacon's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I'm not a ham guy.
I'm not a huge ham guy. I don't.
Sausage is pretty good.
Pork
sausage is pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, that's good too. I don't usually order I never order pork chops.
Nobody orders pork chops. They don't you don't even hardly find pork chops.
Harper said she eats. What is it that?
Something like that.
The one that
cube steak.
Cube steak. I didn't even know they made that anymore.
Lauren makes that. She gets the smashed up steak and
then
fries it.
It used to be real stringy.
It's got a lot of stringy. It's stringy.
Maybe they've made it different.
It's like a whole.
Because Harper said no, it's not stringy. It's like
my mom used to make it.
Used to be.
It was full of gristly, stringy stuff.
Yeah, it's cheap. We get
That's why they got to smash it down.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It was pretty good.
I used to love it when I was a kid.
When we had
Mom
it the
would
other
make
day.
it was a regular deal.
I didn't know that.
Fry it up.
I didn't
fry it
know
up. Fry it up to cube steak.
I have to look at it at the grocery store.
It's pretty good.
I mean, different than
I
it
haven't
used to.
had cube steak in decades.
35, 40 years.
40 50 years. And I can see it and taste it.
I can't remember what it tastes like, but I remember it was always stringy.
See, I remember them strings.
They look pretty. It didn't look stringy. It was, it's just like some, maybe you were buying the real cheap stuff back in the day, but this is,
I thought it was the cheap stuff, just cube steak.
I don't know
if there was.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
We get it from Jackie's Market, though.
Ink Spike says hamburger with dental floss in it.
I mean, Jackie's Market might be higher quality.
I think it was just, smashed up sirloin. I don't think it was.
Who said that, babe?
Ink Spikes.
That's exactly. It's like smashed up meat with dental floss in it. That's how stringy.
That's what it looked like.
How stringy it is.
But
is it cube or cubed?
Cubed. I don't
cube
know.
steak. I think it is.
What did you get? This now I'm curious. Did it come in just like a steak comes?
No, it came it looked like a hamburger.
Yeah, it looks like this.
Yeah,
it looks like this.
Yeah.
Here it is, cube steak. Ah, the memories.
It doesn't look like it used to though. It used to. You could see the white, stringy stuff in it before. I don't know. What's the difference in that and
$9
and
$9
burgers then?
I
guess it's a different cut of meat, but
it's like some kind of trimmings where they get a lot of the tendons in there, and they can't sell it as a hamburger because that's gross, but sell it as cube steak. People can, they can act like it's steak, even though it's super
I don't
dental
know.
floss.
I thought it
Maybe
was just,
it's not anymore. Maybe they've made it different. Because
I just thought it was steak that they hit with a hammer so the seasoning, so the breading stuck to it better.
I don't exactly know how they make it. They cube it is how they do it. They cube it. I don't know what
Ned's
that
Navy.
means.
Thanks, Ned's Navy. Don't the kids need to go to school? He's remembering to remind me, but Lauren was here this morning, so she took her.
Cube steak.
I don't know. Lauren made cube steak the other day with some mashed potatoes and gravy and tomatoes.
Mashed
Other
potatoes.
stuff was pretty good.
Yeah.
Kids even ate it.
Yeah, Harper said she eats it and likes it. I just didn't even know they made it anymore.
Did you see the thing with John Cougar Mellencamp?
Uh-uh.
I like to say Cougar Mellencamp to irritate him. He's like, I guess he wanted to give a big spiel about Biden at one of his concerts, and the people are like, you know, they wanted to hear music. They didn't want to get politics, and he got all pissy.
Really?
Old John got all pissy.
Well, I shouldn't have said that, because here came that little arthritic finger right in my face, and she went, "It's just like you, buddy, to be a smart aleck when I'm talking to Jesus."
I don't know what this is all about. I haven't seen this part.
Then it got real quiet.
Or they seem to be yelling at the guy that said that. Why don't you play some music?
Now, this might have been, I mean, I could have got it wrong on the internet. He might have been telling a completely non-Biden story.
Yeah.
So, because it makes it seem like more good of a dick if it's politics. So, I don't know.
What do you think I've been doing, you cocksucker?
Is he chewing gum, or is he just like an old man chewing his
He's
cud?
an old man chewing his cud. And
he's got on like a mechanic's outfit.
Jumpsuit.
It's really flattering.
I mean, you're not even trying. Not even trying.
He doesn't seem like he'd be, pro Biden. That's what he's
Telling stories.
old hillbilly.
Not shutting up.
Now, here's the thing, man. You don't know me. You don't fucking know me.
I think he's drunk.
It's a possibility.
Drunk and
Could
chewing
be
on
that.
his cut. That's it. So he's not playing enough music because he's drunk rambling.
Yeah.
And she told me I'm talking to you.
Hey, Joe, find this guy and let me see him after the show.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, you old drunk?
Try and bite him.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted,
What did he say?
I don't know. You know what he said?
It took her down.
guys, I was so rudely interrupted. Guys, I can stop this show right now and just go home.
He definitely looks wasted,
Yeah,
right?
He's looking for an excuse to end the show. He can barely stand up. We love you, John.
He just wanted to go home anyway. That's
Yeah,
why.
past his bedtime. Oh, fudge sickles, my bad.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted,
Oh, sorry.
guys, I can stop this show right now and just go home.
Don't stop the show. I paid $50, $500
Yeah.
for it. We love you.
Grandma was waving her arthritic finger. We were totally listening.
Grandma was raising her arthritic finger.
We totally listened.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. Since you've been so wonderful, I'm going to cut about 10 songs out of the show. Here we go. A little ditty about Jack Diane. Magic keys going up in the heartland. You know what? Show's over.
So imagine
That was a dick move.
yeah, it's like, it's one.
You have to
it's
give people their
basically-
money back, don't you?
You would
You
think.
can't just quit that.
So he did 9 songs, which is definitely not a full concert.
No.
Do you get your money back? I think you have to jump through hoops, but you could get your money back.
I mean, you can't just walk off stage because one drunk guy said something, and now you're gonna but he doesn't get to hear the rest of the show.
We were listening.
Kevin JK says he came back out and played the rest of the show. He had to go take a break and get out of his hot head stage.
His manager was like,
You're
John,
gonna have to pay all these people back, bro.
Yeah, and it took about 10 minutes to calm John down, and
Yeah.
then he came back.
And they said, have another drink.
Have another drink. That's what they did.
Get out there.
They gave him a Jack Daniels shot, and he went back out. Yeah, killed it. See, that's the internet. It may not even been political, and he came back. The internet doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, they don't tell you everything. Just like in the news, they leave out half the story. Whoa, what was that story yesterday?
Oh,
so close to
so
remembering
close.
it. And we were like, they didn't even show you the most.
Oh, the kids' artwork on the I voted sticker.
Oh, I voted stickers. They don't even. The most, the whole story. Sorry, the whole story.
Come
was
on,
about
John Cougar,
the
Donna
kids
Camp.
doing the artwork, and they just tell you the story, and they don't even show you the artwork. It's like, what is that all about? That's ridiculous.
We see these the stories all the time.
Every
Nobody
night
knows
there's
what
a
they're
story.
doing. They're incompetent reporters. It's like,
Yeah.
well, if you're gonna do a story about the best 3 artwork, the 3 kids who won, and they got the trophy, and they're gonna be on the I voted sticker. Well, what's the artwork? Why do the story if you're not going to show us what these 3 kids did that was so good that it's, that's why you do the story.
They showed like a poster from 20 feet away. You couldn't see any of them.
Oh, it was like this. You could. All I saw was maybe a color. It's irritating. And like you'll hear and then they'll play the audio of this guy, and it's like, and they're like. Back in the day in radio, if I'd given audio to my boss and said, "Yeah, here's the audio for today's show," and it was like, he would have said, "You're lucky if you didn't say you're fired."
Yeah,
and he'd go do it again, is what he'd say. There's no standards anymore. Yeah,
I mean, nobody's ever even thought to get an extension cord to plug into the generator so you can stand 50 feet away instead of right next to it.
I can barely hear them. Yep.
The guy who tweeted this said, "Thoughts and prayers going out to all the people just now finding out John Mellencamp can be insufferable live. When he's wearing the onesie and starts telling stories, just head for the exit." The onesie. I think he's drinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Telling stories.
Stories.
Don't you hate that when somebody's singing and or you're at live music and then they start trying to be like funny between the things and you're like, oh man, you're not funny at all.
Yep. He probably people mark out to him, so he thinks. And people normally they just sit through his stories, and some guy finally called him out on it. And he got all pissed off.
Yeah.
Man,
there was a shooting out at a McDonald's out in Zephyr Hills last night or yesterday. Weston lives out that way. Better watch how you're looking at people. Even at a McDonald's, what happened? He was doing something. The guy tried to intervene. That's what happens when you intervene.
You get shot.
This guy tried to intervene because he was, yelling at people at the McDonald's, and this guy tried to man up and be like, fucking stop that shit. And this crazy guy followed him home or something, just pulled out a gun. He got out, of his car and started saying stuff to him again. And he freaking pulled out a gun and shot him. He didn't kill him, but
Yeah, I ain't.
Fucking
Yeah,
can't even go to McDonald's
I'm
anymore.
avoiding all conflicts. I'm not stepping into any situation.
You just can't.
And it's like you gotta watch. You gotta have your head on a swivel nowadays because like all the shootings, people are just willy nilly shooting.
Yeah,
they just cut and there was a shootout at the 7-Eleven, and they're just the three guys all shooting every which way, and that could happen, and you'd be caught in the crossfire.
Yep.
All right,
crazy people.
See Jerry out there yet?
No.
He's usually here by now.
No, I know. I didn't even notice.
We should take a break anyway.
Do what you want to do, buddy.
I guess we'll just take a break. He should show up if he's coming. He's usually here by 9:45.
What do you mean if he's coming?
Well,
I think he's
he said he
coming.
was coming.
Yeah.
So I'm just, he's just usually here. So I'm
You're good.
just wondering. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more ClusterF.
All right.
Would you want to live without legs? Like, I'm not
Without
saying would you rather have legs or not have legs, but like, do you think life would be worth it
Without legs.
without legs?
I think you could live a decent life without legs. It wouldn't be fun. I mean, it'd be a pain in the ass, but you could still enjoy everything. You got your senses, you got your mind, you got your hands. I think it'd be worse than not to have hands almost.
Yeah. Maybe.
Not have arms.
Yeah, I think
Would you
so.
leave me
You're
if
helpless.
I lost a leg or two? One or two?
Absolutely.
Which one would you leave me if I lost one leg or two?
I don't need you hopping around here bitching and whining about your stump.
Yeah. Ugh.
You.
Oh no, I would
Lock her in a room.
Yeah, I'd just keep you in bed, throw some food in there, and abuse you. No, I wouldn't leave you, babe. I could never do that.
You just feel guilt. Then I'd be like, you just feel guilty, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to stay with me.
I'd just cheat on you. Say, hey, if you can hop over here and try to catch me.
You're such a dick. That's all right. I'll fucking leave you then. You're gone. Don't you lose a leg, buddy.
I mean, if I'm thinking at the knee, I still got little nubby legs. I know I'd have a wheelchair and I'd try and use that a lot, but I feel like I'd be more of a crawler than the average nub person.
Yes, of
He
course.
would
feel like
he
I'd
would be a dragger, not a crawler.
I just
a
like
dragger.
right now, like instead of like you getting my wheelchair and going through this door and struggling to go out and to get my sandwich, I'd probably just.
Yeah. All right. See, there he is. It's like, why is Trace leaving? And after like 2 or 3 days, you wouldn't even think about it. He's like, what Trace get up? Is he taking her? Is he taking her to school? Is he going to drag himself out?
He knows exactly what he would do, and that's exactly what I would expect him to do.
The dragger. Oh my God.
All my doors would be ready to fall off because Trace has been using all his weight to pull himself
Every
through.
doorknob is hanging in the house.
Yeah, the doors
my
would
God.
be. Gotta replace the hinges again. Trace's.
His pants and shirt are just covered in dog hair constantly,
Yes,
dragging around our floor.
Right, they are.
He's like a human Roomba.
Can't go? Do this to clear out stuck poop fast. On June 17th in 2019, my mom was rushed to the hospital to have what was basically a log of poop surgically removed from her colon. What happened was when she hadn't pooped in 3 days, the doctor told her to try prune juice. And then he told her to try fiber supplements and then castor oil. And then came the prescription laxatives. But when all of these failed and she was actually
Little ho, that's the name you gotta know. Stacking dollars up so high to make it rain, I make it snow. Little ho, I TNT, cause you can't catch me like Sean Kingston on a new jet ski. Little ho, that's a name you're gonna know. Stacking dollars up so high, don't make it rain, I'll make it snow. Little ho, white girl face with a black eye flow. Stacking dollars up so high, don't make it rain, I'll make it snow. Everybody loves me. I make it snow. Everybody loves me. My shit's so tight that I once saw Christ took me out up in the clouds. But he waved bye-bye cause he's kinda shy and I think he was aroused. When I was 2, I beat Slim Shady in a battle, he lost me bad. I was kinda sad to his ass real bad, now he needs a colostomy bag. Out rap Lil Wayne, he was so ashamed and now he can't stop pouting. Now the only thing me and Wayne have in common, we're too short to ride Space Mountain. I'm late for my show, cops stop Lil Ho, they smell a strange aroma. Ho raps real hard and I got my car, told the doc I got glaucoma. Don't hate Lil Ho cause you got beat by a young blonde Anglo-Saxon. I don't touch young kids but I'm white and rich like Mr. Michael Jackson. Lil Ho, that's a name you're gonna know. Stacking dollars up so high, don't make it rain, I make it snow. Lil Ho, white girl face with a black eye flow. Stacking dollars up so high, don't make it rain, I make it snow. Everybody loves me. I make it snow. Everybody loves me.
Welcome back to ClusterF. Brand new edition of The Hang will be up later today. VIP show, Hang OT, available on ClusterFshow.com. One of the funniest, craziest stories of bizarreness.
Yeah.
On the VIP. Mind blowing. I was aghast and agape.
Where did he hear this story? He stumbled upon it?
I don't know, because it's 12 or 13 years old. Yeah, you know?
He's been trying to figure out the mystery for 12 years.
It was fascinating. Only available on ClusterFshow.com, VIP section.
Woo!
What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Mikey boy.
Been a while.
It's been a while. Miss you guys. Living an old hippity hoppity here.
Yeah, cripple.
You know?
Yeah.
The old crip.
With
you
a
know?
walking wounded over here at this household.
Chop off his legs, man. Just let him roll around in the chair.
Oh, we've talked about that before. Can you imagine how intolerable he'd be without legs?
Just lock him in a room, that's all. Roll him around.
We couldn't reach the doorknob.
Yeah, we can do a little human bowling thing with him, you know?
Needs to be tied to a bed for his own safety, for your own safety, for 2 months, so your body can heal, buddy.
God, man, this is like the worst injury I've had in a long time, and I didn't do anything.
I know, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens with the knees. It happened with me. I didn't know it. I hurt my
Is it
knee.
your knee or your ankle? What is it?
It's my knee, and
that's bad news.
You know, people are like, "What did you do to it?" And I just don't even know what to tell them. You know, I'm like, I don't know, and they're like, "Really, you don't know?" And then I gotta be like, "Well, I was doing an egg toss with Harper that day. It's just, I'm not sure that's even what did it. I'm just like, that's the only, I went and did an egg toss with Harper. I got in the car to drive here, and when I got here, my leg was like double the size.
Well,
I don't recall hurting my leg.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I asked you and before you answered me, in my mind I had jumping, crashing, falling, something to do with that.
Yeah, I could see how
egg tossing was like the last thing in my mind. And I figured it had something to do with falling or crashing or jumping.
But it just sucks not even knowing what you did. Like, everybody's like, yeah, right. I'm like,
You should have immediately driven to Walmart and fallen on the ground.
Exactly.
Let them pay for it.
Gosh, I can't do it. It's so hard for me to for me to actually sue somebody would be so difficult just because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like suing is a dick move.
Yeah.
But like I remember this, I've been on crutches for a couple weeks now, and I went to Beef.
I'm surprised to still see you. Yeah.
I went to Beef O'Brady's, and my crutch hit a French fry, and I mean I ate shit so hard, like face planted right there in the restaurant, and like the second I hit the ground, I'm like, does this mean I'm rich? But like I got up, and I'm like not gonna be like, oh. Let me talk to your manager. I'm suing her or whatever. I'm just like, oh, all right, whatever. I'm getting out of here. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what like most people do.
That's what normal
they get
people.
up and walk in. Like, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I fell. And then you got the other people that go, oh fuck,
I can't wait to sue. Just can't wait.
Yeah, I know somebody who just got an offender bender. And they're getting sued because the person claimed to have a seizure later.
Yeah, and you're screwed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You get the right doctor. Yeah, I got seizures. I'm depressed. I got psychological. I got post-traumatic stress disorder. All that bullshit.
All that bullshit. I don't know. Why can't people just be decent? Donna was just talking about a customer, and then Donna made a rare mistake, and then she called the guy to say she was sorry, and the guy was super nice, and she's like, well, I'm going to make it right, and he's like, oh, well, thank you very much. It's like, that's
yeah,
if you
just delivered something on the wrong day,
and if
you're
he
was nice.
If you're just nice, she'll always make it right. But then if you're one of these a-holes, it's like, yeah, she might.
You know what? And I'm one of the a-holes. You know how I complain about Publix and the sandwiches and shit. I ordered it online, and it's happened to me 2 or 3 times where boy said deluxe ham, and they give you regular ham and stuff like that. And I ordered the sandwiches, and like 2 or 3 times it's happened to me, and I ordered it and come back, and I looked, and I fucking tapping ham again. But this, and
how do you?
Said, you know what?
Yeah. How do you know?
It had like a crust on it. Like the deluxe ham doesn't have like a crust on it.
Yeah.
On the end. So I said, "Come on now," So I was just like pissed, and I went back and I got the manager. And I said, here, look at this. I said, and she goes, that's not. I said, no, I ordered deluxe ham. I said, oh, it looks right. And so let's go over to the girl. And as soon as the girl
yelled at her too.
The girl said, I made that sandwich. I made that sandwich and I made it right. I was like, oh, here we go. But it was like an everything thing, and it had roast beef on it, and it was the crust of the roast beef thing. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I jumped the gun. And the guy goes, let me make you another sandwich. I said, no, I'm good. You did it. He said, no, I touched it. I got to make you another sandwich. I said, no. I said, I don't care. I feel like an asshole now. I don't care if your hand was up your ass. I'm going to take it. He said, no, I got to make you another
sandwich.
Well,
that's not being a dick.
Well, no, but
he was coming close. He came real close.
Third time I'm
but
he was dabbling in it.
But yeah, I went in with a little bit of an attitude, and I was like, "Well, fuck, I'm an idiot,"
I've had people with attitudes before, and then you can turn them around being nice. Because I always start off, I'm always going to be nice and, give you something. But if I can tell that's, they're just being a dick and they just want something for free, it's like, come on, can't you just be truthful? And
that's and
because I know if they're lying, because I know, if I'm telling the truth. I don't lie to people about shit like that.
I know Lauren's going to get pissed at me now, but I know, like in a lot of restaurants and stuff, like they have pictures of like how you want your steak, rare, medium, medium. And so you say, okay, I like it medium, and it comes out and it's bleeding to death still, I'm like, dude, you got pictures, and this is what you do. You make steaks. This is what you do, and you can't give me a medium steak, and and you get nothing. You don't get a dessert. You don't get shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't want nothing now.
They used to do that. They would automatically just send you over. Oh, the manager said, you get a free dessert
or some
on
shit.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't do shit anymore, And now I'm at the point where, you know what? I don't want nothing. And they're like, really? No, I don't, because you're going to take it in the back and spit on it. So I don't want nothing.
You're gonna have to quit pounding that table, Jerry.
I'm sorry. You know, I haven't been here, 3 weeks? And in fucking 2 seconds, I'm pounding the table.
I didn't even notice.
God, I hate to brag about this place again, but like, I just can't. At these times going up to Oh Shucks, me and Lauren went up there.
I'm telling you, it's the best place ever.
We went up there, we went up to a restaurant a week ago, and we got $2 or $3, 2 or 3 drinks and a couple of meals, and it's like $80-$90.
Yeah.
But we went up there and got fries and chicken wings. Lauren got 5 beers, and I got 6 beers. It was like $20-something. We're like, what the fuck? Like, why do we live here? Like,
Tracy's pitched. They pitched a tent out back.
And I'll tell you, the only thing you could do in that place wrong is seat yourself. As soon as you walk in, there's a sign there that says "Wait to be seated." And if you dare step over that line, then girls will yell at your ass. But outside of that, I mean, they'll sit you down. Okay, what do you want? Beer, this, and yeah, I mean, it's bar food, but it's good. Burgers are good, chicken's good, everything. The guys, Fish Fridays. They love the fish on Friday. So I don't know how they're in business.
I like good bar food.
Yeah, I don't know how these guys are in
I like the
business.
wings.
Remember the Green Parrot? Well, we used to go there after softball games years ago, and it'd be like 10 people. A couple girlfriends or a wife, and half the team, and we'd drink for hours and get chicken wings, and the bill would be ridiculously small.
Yeah.
It would be nothing.
It's like $80 for
10
13 people.
And if you go to the other side in Leesburg, Chicago Fire, I told you about, and I think your happy hour starts at like 2. But they give you like a 16-ounce for like $2 or some shit.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
not,
what I'm
you gotta
talking
wait till
about.
lunch is over. But like between 2 and 5. So if you're with the kids, lunchtime don't mean nothing. You get there at 2
and drink yourself into oblivion.
While the kids let the kids run. But even the food there is cheap there too.
Yeah.
The food is cheap there too, and it's it's again decent food.
Man, I mean, I sat there at Oh Shucks, we were there for 2-3 hours, and the whole time there, sitting right in front of us, shucking all these oysters.
Yeah.
And, I thought maybe if I drank enough, I could do one. And they looked just as bad when I first got there as they did after that 4th or 5th beer. I was still looking at them just like, no, I can't do it.
It looks like phlegm. It looks like something you cough up.
The lady we're sitting where they're shucking. The lady's shucking them like right in front of us, like 2 feet.
At the bar.
Yeah. And she's sitting there shucking them. And I think at one point, I don't know if she wanted us to pay for it or not. She was almost acting like she'd give us one of them because, she's like, I can make you like it. I can, I've always been able to, these ones are extra salty too today. And I can season them up and stuff to make to where you.
Yeah, that's the way I eat them. I mean, put horseradish, ketchup, hot sauce on it, just so I don't see that slimy shit.
And I was just like,
do. I wouldn't even think you would eat that.
Yeah, a couple of drinks on.
Why not?
He's an enigma. He's an enigma.
Why not just steam them though? Or cook them? Why not just cook them?
Why not just leave them in the ocean?
Yeah.
Or that.
My opinion on it.
See, I like a clam. I like a fried clam.
Yeah.
I can't imagine eating a raw clam.
Scallops. Horseradish, hot sauce, raw clam.
I mean, you just swallow it. Right?
Swallow, just suck it right down. Just suck it right down. That's it.
Like taking a nasty ass big fish vitamin.
I'm easily
swallow it.
I'm easily made happy too. I ordered 5 wings, or I ordered 6 wings, and they brought me out 7. They like made my day right there.
Bonus wing.
Yeah.
That extra wing.
Extra wing. Hell yeah.
Okay. I may have gotten God again, but this is allegedly a school protest because they say the kids are allowing furries to terrorize other students.
Furries?
Can you see that? What?
You know what a furry is? Somebody who dresses up like an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see if I got. I don't know.
Are they wearing a mask every day?
Yes. But every time we go, they're always just wearing a mask. class, but the principal finally stood up and banned those stuff. But they still wear them every day.
Yeah, and they don't get in trouble. The principal doesn't make them get in trouble.
Yeah. All the principal says is just be kind, be nice, be nice. And then
What's the point of dressing up like a furry?
I don't know.
They're all like, we don't know. It's like, I think this is legit. And it's like, what is going on?
There's a generational difference between me and you, but I think me and you would have done the same thing when we were like 14.
That's
and
what I'm saying. They're
we
not.
would have just punched them right in the mouth. Like, oh, let's see this guy, bang. You know, I mean.
But I mean, it's not even been, it's not even been that long for me. But when I was in school, you had to like follow what, you had to
dress codes and
yeah,
rules.
even public school, was like you can't come to school wearing a fucking mask. Like, I mean, and if you did, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, right? Like, what you
And without a doubt, I don't think you would have went through 6 or 7 guys without one of the guys punching you. Like, yeah, it's a big head. You got to hit it.
They would have never let Trace come to school with a big giant mask.
I mean, they're not even
any mask.
Nobody would
Trace,
have.
take that fucking mask off. That's what they'd say.
Like there could be certain clothes, there could be certain amount of makeup that they just say, no, that's distracting.
Yeah,
go home or change or take the makeup off. Now you can wear a furry mask to school. These kids seem outraged.
What are these kids? What are they doing to these?
They said the furries are bullying them. That's what they said.
How is a furry bullying?
They think they're so cool that they want to get a lot of attention. I think they want attention.
These kids are out
They
of
think
control.
they're so
These kids
cool.
are pissed.
They said the kids sound like their parents.
They do.
Cool has gone downhill. If that's what cool is, cool has gone downhill.
Get the progressive guy out here. There's a bunch of Karens. I'm torn both ways. I don't like the furries, and I don't like the fucking Karens.
These kids are really outraged.
so people can come at them and just look at them and think that they're so cool.
Okay.
Also,
Are you guys going to be in trouble for walking out of school today?
No, maybe. We might.
These kids are walking out of school.
What are they? 10 years old? They're walking out.
What do these kids know about walking out of school?
Gosh,
I don't
Over
know.
furries?
These kids are pussies, man. Like kind of like you said, like
They're standing up for themselves.
they're getting beat up by people wearing fucking stuffed animal masks. Masks.
I don't understand this at all.
If we go back on school grounds, we will get in trouble.
Oh, that's man.
Hello, Mom. You see the kid? She's on the phone. Hello, Mom. There's some guy talking to me here.
This guy's a terrible reporter. He should be going one at a time.
Yeah, hopefully not. We're standing for We're standing for what the furries are wrong. This is wrong. They should not be doing this.
Don't let this guy. He's terrible.
Yeah, the guy with the hat. Get him out.
Get this dumb ass out of there.
So you guys are out here?
Yes! Okay. They attack us. If they bite us and we just kick them, we get in trouble.
They bite us.
They bite us.
And if we
kick them, we get in trouble. What are they on their hands and knees biting your leg like a dog? I bet that's what it is.
Oh man.
I bet that's what it
That's
is.
a free kick to the face, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's
That's a
what I'm
clean
saying.
kick.
I don't understand how they even made it through the front door without getting hit.
I don't either.
We get in trouble.
Because now, like, if you acted like you acted, now you're getting in serious trouble. Back then, it was just kind of a thing. There's a fight, break it up. Now you're getting expelled. Especially if this is a hate crime now, Jerry.
How else do they attack you guys?
They either bite us, they scratch us, they bark at us.
Bark at us.
Where are the parents? The parents should be here doing the protesting.
Exactly.
Well, who's the parents that letting their kid go to school in a dog outfit?
Right.
And act
Where
like
are
a
those
dog.
parents?
They're probably down at the school fighting for the right for their kid to do it.
Maybe that's.
I think that's where the.
I mean, if they're gonna let these kids be, say, a cat, then they have to eat cat food.
I agree, and use the litter box.
Yeah. If
Then
you're gonna be a dog,
they would.
then you have to eat dog food. Are you sure you're a dog? Because
see you lick your
dogs
balls,
love
buddy.
this.
That's a good point.
Dogs love this food.
I'd
So
cure that
If
immediately.
you can lick your ass, you're a dog. If not, move on.
I mean, I'm sure you'd have a couple people eating fucking cat food. You know,
Oh,
people
good.
are fucking weird now.
So
good.
nasty.
And then their parents would sue the taxpayers for that.
Whatever.
They,
This
oh yeah,
is-
they would. Do you remember the cat food burger?
Yeah, no.
We were
Yeah,
gonna,
oh,
we were
yeah,
gonna cook
yeah,
it for
yeah.
young Jerry. Oh, just the smell.
It was so gross. We couldn't do it.
I mean, I feed my cat food every day, but it smells like cat food. But you cook it, it's just like
Oh yeah, it gets worse.
It was so bad. Well, these kids are still
I
outraged.
mean, dude,
They're
I
still
just
outraged.
can't imagine in school a kid coming dressed as a cat and us. Yeah, we're just gonna call you a pussy all day because you dressed up like a cat.
What
Like,
happens when these kids turn 15? What's gonna happen? I mean, they're gonna be outraged over the school bus being late. I mean, I don't know.
But what's going to happen when the furry kid has to get a job? You're not going to hire the dog guy. The guy who comes in and
he's going to sue.
He'll
hire me because I'm in a dog outfit.
And he'll win.
Yeah.
They pounce on us. And then they run on all fours and pounce on people.
They run on all
fours and pounce on people.
How can you not kick them? How would somebody walk?
I'm kicking.
How do you? I mean,
they're not real dogs.
She said they kick them and then they get in trouble.
They said, I mean, I guess you wouldn't do it if the kid was jumping on you, is not getting in trouble, and you get in trouble every time you try to fight back.
Well, then their parents should be there right now.
The world
doing this argument instead of the kids. And that's what Doglog says. It's sad, these lame-ass adults poisoning these children's minds. I mean, look what these kids have to become. It's like these kids shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
See, this was school.
They should be playing recess, playing the tag or some shit.
This was going on, I mean, around 2 or maybe 3 years ago, where they were saying that kids were identifying as cats and using a litter box at school, and then it was debunked. It was like, no, that's not happening. But now it's pert near there.
Maybe
I mean, but wouldn't you? I mean, is it? And at this point, is it really even? They want to be cats, or are they? It's a group of friends that got together that thought it'd be cool to wear masks and beat the crap out of the younger kids.
It's just I mean,
okay, I could go along with that. Okay, there's a reason.
It's a gang. It's a gang.
It may not be a good reason, but there's a reason. I get to beat up kids. All right, I get that. But not to I'm a cat. No,
we're the pussy cats. Don't mess with us, right? Ridiculous.
They're spraying you with Febreze.
Just because they're jerks. Because we apparently have rabies. And there's a rumor that they were putting litter boxes in the girls' bathroom. And they started
putting litter boxes in girls' bathrooms.
I can,
the girls that are wanting to say in their cats.
What is going on in the world?
I mean, but I could see me being in high school and be like, we can get away with pretending to be cats, and then we'll just do the fucking stupidest. We're gonna bring I'll bring a litter box tomorrow. We're gonna put a litter box in and you're gonna pee in it. And you go like, I'll give you $5 if you go in the bathroom and go pee in that litter box.
Actually,
squat down 10 if you squat.
Girls would be squatting for attention. They would use the litter box for attention.
I mean, I guarantee.
Put it on their Instagram.
In a joking way, I guarantee if we had a litter box in our bathroom, we could get my 10th grade class convince somebody to go in there and take a poo.
Absolutely. They think it was the funniest thing ever.
Absolutely. High school, you can get a high school kid to do anything.
And that somebody would have been Trace.
That's not a far reach, but just to dress up as to say I identify as a cat. No, you need a shot in your head.
No, there's no excuse for allowing that. As an educator, it's preposterous. But speaking of going, in the litter box, when we lived in Iowa for a year, and we had a basement, and that's where we kept the litter box for the cat. And then for a week, I was cleaning the litter box, going, these cat, something wrong with one of these cats? Because he's peeing, it's soaking up the whole litter box. He's like, every pee is after about a week, and then I was looking at how it was in there, and we figured out it was Trace. He was 3. He was 3 years old, and he was going down and peeing in the litter box.
Makes sense. That's
where the cat goes. That's where I'll go.
He was the first one to identify as a cat.
Yeah,
I'm way ahead of his time.
Ahead of your time.
These kids
and that's when he got toxoplasmosis that affected his brain.
Yep. These kids are still outraged.
I heard that was just a rumor.
No, it's true.
Is this something you've seen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can't talk or say anything to the furries or even look at them, but they can come look at us and they can say stuff to us and touch us. And they don't get in trouble, but we get in trouble.
Interesting. That sounds like a double standard to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like a double standard to me. This guy's a crack reporter.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys stay on the sidewalk, okay?
It's safety first.
See, I think that's true. Where is this? This is in Utah.
Is it?
In Utah. See, I do hear some stories out of Utah and go, I thought Utah was like super conservative.
Well, they got all the Mormons out there and whatnot. But they're conservative.
They're conservative.
They can have 5 wives, but they're conservative.
Conservatives in name. So I don't know what's going on.
I mean, we did get a kid to pee his pants in class before.
Oh my God!
For $10.
Who would do that for $10?
$10.
Maybe
Just
at
a
the end of the
teenager.
day.
Now that I think of it, he might have been weirder than I thought. I'm thinking he might have brought up the whole situation of you guys give me $10 and I'll pee in my pants in class. And I feel like he wanted to pee his pants in the class. And
$10, man. That's not.
He didn't even get it. The principal compensated the $10 and wouldn't give it back to the person who paid him the $10 and just said, "I'm keeping it."
That's a violation of several people's civil rights.
To the teachers' fund or some shit. Yeah.
Right in his pocket.
Nah, he wasn't. He was just like, "I'm taking this home."
Was it the guy who went and bought a bottle of Jack with it?
Yeah, of course. That's all I was thinking was he was definitely going to use that 10 and be pretty. It's going to put a smile on his face at the liquor store today.
Guy's nose was always bright red.
Didn't he used to have cases of liquor?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't, I
delivered to the school.
I always thought it was like a rumor, until eventually one day I got in school suspension in his office, and I was in there for 8 hours, so I'm just kind of looking around, opening drawers and stuff, and there's just a full bottle of Jack Daniels now, and I'm like, oh, that's true.
How much did you drink?
None. I don't know.
I'm disappointed now.
I would have got in trouble for sure. But at that point, I mean, you lock me in a room with a bottle of Jack Daniels. What do you expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? Got one more outrageous story. Well, now let's all be supportive. See if where's my story. You have to be supportive of this person.
I refuse already.
It says here, Ontario resident who wants both a vagina and a penis wins public funding for unique surgery.
Public funding. I think they just put these out there to piss people off.
What if you get a dick on your forehead? Like or like a dick on your elbow?
I think it's coming.
Do you have?
I think you have to wear long sleeves.
If I had a dick on my elbow, would I have to wear long sleeves, or can I let my elbow dick hang out?
Have a condom on it.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
You see, that's what you should like. I want a dick on my forehead and a yacht. You get the yacht right away, and you keep putting. Well, I got a headache. We can't put the dick there yet. Push it off for a year or two. But in the meantime, you got the yacht.
A yacht from who? What you talking
about?
about?
Well, because he wants a vagina and a dick. He could have a dick and a yacht.
Well, I'm not getting the correlation here,
I don't think they're giving him the cash. I think they're just paying for the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to have a penis-sparing vaginoplasty.
Well, so doesn't he already have one of them?
That's what it means. They're going to, usually the vaginoplasty inverts it, your penis.
Okay.
Yeah. But so they're going to put a vagina somewhere
in between his asshole and his
It's
dick.
mental illness, isn't it? Isn't it?
There's not a lot of room there.
That's a lot going on. The a-hole, the new vagina, the balls, and then the penis.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
I would imagine you have to, if you're keeping a dick, you're keeping the balls.
I would think.
So,
you would think.
I would think.
I mean, there's probably a reason for the taint between the two.
It's the reason for the taint. Yeah. It ain't. tain't there for nothing. I would fit.
boy.
I mean, it has to be mental illness. You know, I could get, you know, maybe wanting to be your man and you wish you were born into a woman's body. But to, you know, for people to tell you that this is not natural, it's not even going to create a real vagina, and it's, you know, it's mutilating your body, like, and to still just be like, but I just want a vagina, you know, to act like that. I think it's some type of mental illness.
It's so weird that, you know, you know that, like, if you look at the woman who had her face eaten off by the monkey, there's only so much they can do plastic surgery wise. You know, they haven't perfected, you know, everything. They can't even make old people look young without turning them into monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think that this creating a sex organ out of another sex organ is going to go as planned?
Yeah, the insides are just there. I mean, the outside's one thing, but the insides.
And if you get the female surgery, you have to do stuff to keep it open. You gotta, you know, every day you gotta.
See, you know a lot
Cram
more about this than I know.
I know too much about it.
It's not even about getting a vagina. It's, you know, if I'd be more okay with it if you could be like, now you have a vagina, but you're making it's just so unnatural and so involved in cutting a hole in this, drilling a hole in somebody.
What is the reason for them wanting a vagina? Who's having sex with them?
No, I'm sure.
All right,
Is there-
all right, let's move along to traffic in New York City.
What? I can't say that?
No, I think we just need to move on.
But I'm saying it seems like it would just hurt.
I don't think
You wouldn't even want to have sex, wouldn't you? Would you? It's not like you're getting the sensation of.
There's people, like, you'll hear interviews with people and they'll say, you know, that they don't have a good sex life. You know,
It just seems like it'd hurt.
And sometimes they say, you know, you may never have an orgasm again. You know, that's a complex surgery, trying to make a new part that can climax.
Because then you got to go the first time. You got to be with someone that, you know, really wants to be with you. Because you got to go. All right, we got to go real easy.
Donna's taking it to the next level.
I'm just saying, isn't that the reason they're getting a vagina to have sex? Why else would you even need one?
Keep talking, babe. Come on. Come on. It was just getting good. So here's what they do in New York, you know, like some places they boot you.
Yep.
In New York, they slap this, like, good luck driving with your head out the window.
Oh, this is no. I haven't seen that one.
I just saw it the other
How
day.
do they keep it
I
there?
don't know. They turn
It's a suction,
it's
super suction cup.
They turn that key and the suction cup starts sucking. And then you...
Oh, so they can't take it off?
Yeah, then you got to...
Supposedly, I mean, have you ever met people? Have you ever been around people? People will figure out anything to get anything off of any. You can't make, you know, you see people just driving down the fucking street with a boot on. At one point, people don't give a fuck, and they'll put their head out the window.
Like a YouTube thing or something. Like if you get booted, you can take it off with like a big pen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
a way of doing it with a big. So I guess this was new and improved.
I mean, the first thing people are going to do is figure out how to get it off. You know, the second they post this video, you know, it's got 1 million views. At least 3 of those people were like, well, I'm going to go buy one and see how figure out ways to take it off so I can post it on the internet.
Right,
or you just bash your windshield in.
Who's riding around with these big-ass yellow things? It's not like they fit in your back pocket. You know, I mean, there's got to be a truck somewhere going, all right, there's a car up the block.
I imagine there probably is. Here's
NHRA says I can drive in reverse like a fucking champ.
Okay, so it's called a barnacle. So I'm going to Google how to get a barnacle off your windshield and see if they've already got. Just slide see, there's all kind of how do you beat the barnacle.
Already.
Students defeat the barnacle.
Probably nail polish remover, you know.
WD-40.
Yeah.
Go up.
Oh,
Go up
that's
to the
Jim
top.
Carrey. That's how.
Show that. You know, show that.
That's how you would defeat the barnacle. Well, there's no video. I wanted to see a video of how you defeat the barnacle, but they don't have it. It's long, a bunch of words, and I ain't gonna read that.
I mean, they're just, now, did they? What is the deal with these things they put on people's car? Like, who lets How do you get it off? And what is the point? Like, they don't tow you anywhere. They just lock your car. Can just sit there for a year in a parking space with a boot on it.
Yeah, there's usually a phone number or a ticket that goes along with it.
I mean, what do they do? Do they tow your car?
You have to call them to come get the boot off?
If you just abandon it, you mean?
Yeah.
What do they put a boot on your car for? Anyway, what's the offense?
Unpaid parking tickets.
Too many summonses.
Oh.
Scofflaw, they call them. You're a scofflaw.
So if they happen to find your car and you
they run
have
the
too
plate.
many...
Yeah, they run the plate. They say he's got no risk.
Trace is definitely a scofflaw.
Yeah. I still don't pay for parking anywhere. It hasn't backfired on me yet.
I still made the run to New York twice from Florida. Ran all the tolls, and I haven't gotten a bill yet. The only place that got me was the Tri-Bowl Bridge. But I thought the Florida thing that we have, worked throughout the whole country. So I went up to New York, and I got across everywhere. Nobody stopped me, and I got across the Tri-Bowl Bridge, and the cop there was like, "What are you doing? This don't work here." I was like, "Okay." I gave him $15 to get across or whatever. And then coming back, the same thing. I did it twice, yet to get a bill.
Well, these places, like, you go to an event and they have parking, and a lot of them, the parking is from an individual company. It's not the government.
Right.
So if you don't pay, I don't just park and then come back and they wrote a ticket and they said, call this number to pay the ticket, and you just never do it.
Oh, they usually tow you. That's what, like those private parking lots, they usuly tow you.
I've been just getting tickets. And
a ticket from ABC Liquor, that don't mean shit.
So they don't.
In New York, they have a new thing, they call it congestive
pricing.
So when there's a lot of traffic, you got to pay like $8 more to get over the bridge. It's like, that's exorbitant, man.
It's $15, I think, from.
I thought that was gouging.
Yeah.
60th Street South or something.
So they can gouge when they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, rich people don't want you on their island.
So you're paying $23 to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
What if you have to go across the bridge once back and forth?
Yeah. What's happening is people are like driving in from the north and parking north of that in all the neighborhoods up there, and the people are paying pissed.
Yeah. See, somebody's always getting screwed. All right, let's. I got to get up and stretch my knee. When I sit too long, it starts to stiffen up. But
it should be like Trace, put something in front of you and put your leg up on it.
It feels a little better today. Feels a little better. So let's take a break, and we'll be right back with more ClusterF.
Hey, what's up? It's Ned, and it's time for another Neditorial. And I just got baked out of my gourd on some multicolored dank hydro funk. It's got me thinking some deep religious shit. So kneel down, give yourself a holy water enema, and if you can't handle what I'm about to say, may the Lord deafen thine ears with his magic ear-deafening staff or some bullshit like that. Here we go. Did you hear that the Florida State Senate has recently passed a bill allowing student-led prayers at school events? 'Cause that'll fix the education system. We just need a bunch of dorks spewing out feel-good mumbo-jumbo every time more than 8 people gather in the fucking hallway. I'm sure an increase in shout-outs to our Heavenly Father will magically elevate us 14 places up to number 1. Or, more likely, do absolutely fucking nothing. But there is good news. It doesn't have to be a Christian prayer. It could be a message from any faith. So here's an Iggy for all you high schoolers out there. Let's have some fun with this shit. Next time you're at an assembly or a football game or an ROTC meeting, ask to say a prayer. And you could, pray to the god of Scientology. Dear Xenu, I know you blew up my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents with a nuclear bomb in a volcano, but I was wondering if you could use your magical powers bestowed on you by L. Ron Hubbard to raise my thetans to their highest level. And also maybe let me out of this closet they locked me in until I give them $100,000. See, kids, that would be fun. Or maybe you could pray to Satan. Dear Satan, please send a demon to mouth-rape my algebra teacher until that bitch gives me an A+. Or maybe you could pray to Jehovah of the Old Testament to smite down your neighbor because he wore a sweater vest woven with 2 different kinds of material. It's in the Bible. Look it up. Leviticus 19:19. Or maybe you could pray to Allah. Dear Allah, please give me guidance, as I have come into contact with the sweat from an excrement-eating camel. Are you seeing my point, people? All these prayers sound fucking crazy. So if everybody can see that the other person's religion is a totally fucking preposterous work of fiction, it only makes sense that maybe they're all preposterous works of fiction. But it's okay. We can still be friends, and you can worship whatever imaginary magical super being you believe in, as long as you do it in the privacy of your own home. That's right. Keep it to yourself, and quit wasting everybody's time. Our kids need to get back to not being educated. So, Bubba Army, kids. They want prayer in school? Let's give them prayer in school. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, iggy, iggy. Bubba Army, let out!
Hello, I'm Mel Tillis. You know the country singer. You know, wild horses couldn't drag me away from a concert, but a bad headache could. Aspirin tablets can be hard on the stomach. That's why I take Jolly's headache powder. I can't let a headache dictate my life. I need to run on all six pistons. Jolly's contains twice as much aspirin as ordinary powders. Mix a Jolly's headache powder in your favorite cocktail, and you're good as new. Ask for Jollies.
Welcome back to ClusterF. Mike and Jerry show coming up.
Long time.
At 11 o'clock. Been a while. Nothing going on, though. There's nothing going on in the world, Jerry. Nothing. Not much.
That's why I haven't been here. I had nothing to say.
Nothing going on. Huh?
Did you say at 11:45?
I don't think I did.
No? I could have swore you said coming up at
11:45. We're cutting it down to 15 minutes. So we figure that's about right for the Mike and Jerry show.
11 o'clock, we're going to go out and take a little pee and come back at 11:45 to 12.
15 strong minutes, so it's, oh boy, you're getting your money's worth.
Man,
Ned, real quick, Ned in your head tomorrow morning, 7:45. Ned in your head tomorrow morning, 7:45. Maybe Ned after dark as well. Go ahead, Trace.
I'm hearing everything. All the the EVs are the dumbest thing anybody's ever tried to do, and they're making everything. They're going to start making everything hydrogen cars.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
I heard that hybrid sales are way more than the EVs.
Yeah, it has both.
Because I think Donna said they charge like while you're driving.
Oh yeah,
so you don't have to do all the plug-in stuff, right?
Yeah. So well, I mean, it's like your battery in your car charges from your alternator. So to just have that, maybe throw an extra alternator in there for your electric, thing, and you can, and you drive. What?
That would mean they're not telling us about the problems people are having driving these electric cars. Maybe there's a lot of people the cars are dying, but they're not telling everybody because they don't want you to know.
They don't cover them as heavily as they should be.
Yeah.
Like they mentioned like one day and then boom, that's it. Like up in Minnesota and shit. When
Yeah.
they were
If they're-
all, you know, when they were pushing them and
when it was
stuff.
super cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, they don't work in the cold.
And if they're changing things already, that's because they're having some problems.
But I've never seen one on the side of the road like dead.
No.
You know.
Surprising.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
one.
I
I
haven't
haven't seen
either.
one. You know, so.
But I mean, I have seen right by when the Winn-Dixie I go to sometimes by my house is right by the interstate. I mean, there's just there's usually 7, 8 people there just charging, and that's you're trying to get somewhere and you have to be like, I got to pull over for 30 minutes and charge, and 30 minutes of charging is going to get me almost there. I might have to stay for a little longer.
It's a long enough time to sit in a parking lot.
Is that how long it takes for a full charge? Like 30 minutes?
I think it's, it might be a little, that's like halfway charged. It's 30
so
minutes.
an hour.
Enough to
So
get
an
home.
hour for a full charge.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
like if
Which
I'm
ain't no
going
big deal if it's at home, but if you're
Yeah,
out.
if I'm going from here to New York, how many times I got to stop for a full
Oh,
charge?
my God.
I'm like, what the hell?
That's why the hybrids are more, because you can, you run out of battery, you just drive
just
like normal,
Keep gas in your car and you're good.
And I could see, like, if you live in a city, like, if you live in New York City or, like, Miami or, Chicago or something, yeah, okay, if you're doing 10 miles, 15 miles back and forth,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. But out here, it don't make sense.
No.
And the Midwest and all that shit, it don't make sense. And they're forcing them down your throat. It's, oh, no, you still got to buy them even if they don't work.
They want everybody to have an electric car because then when the power grid goes out, nobody can go nowhere. They can control you.
Well, that and they'll know where you are at all times, too.
Yep, they're setting it up for 20, 30 years from now.
They're going to be told, these new infrastructures, they're all going to have that shit in the middle of the road where they can charge you how many miles, they'll know how many miles a day you went, and they'll put a fucking tax on it.
They can probably turn your car off if they want. Just turn it off.
Oh, I think they can. I think they've been able to do that. But you can't. The electric vehicles, there's just so many flaws. These other countries use basically slaves to dig up this cobalt and all the stuff that goes in it. And I think more people are realizing that, they're using, child labor and slaves to come up with all this stuff. And there's only a limited amount of it, and it's just all bad.
And then when they go dead, there's no recycling, and you can't get rid of them. You got to bury them in the ground, and they're there for another million years or some shit.
That's like the solar panels. You see these giant solar farms, and then there'll be a hailstorm, and it'll destroy every single solar panel. It's like, well, I bet they didn't think of that one, did they?
But
I
don't
mean,
get
it
why
seems
they
like you
put
would.
more into solar. Put more, like even Florida, they should be putting more into solar panels than worried about electric cars. I mean, shit, it's there. I'm sure there could be some sort of loose site over the solar panels that a rock doesn't break or some shit.
I don't know enough about solar energy, but if it was like just standard operating procedure that every house had to have solar panels, would it be totally beneficial, or is not that make up that much of a difference?
The issue with solar is it doesn't make up a lot. It doesn't. It's not very powerful. Like a big solar panel can't.
That's why they got to be so
You can't
big.
like plug a fucking drill into a solar panel and fucking use the drill, even if it's sunny out.
But I see
it's just
the houses they got like 16 panels.
Yeah.
Up there.
yeah. So,
they got
but
shit
you
like
also then the issue comes of storing the power. Which you need a bunch of giant batteries. But now we're back to the electric
Batteries
cars
again.
with these
Yeah,
giant
electric
batteries you got to
batteries.
keep, and every couple of years you got to buy
And
$5,000 worth of batteries.
if every house had to have solar, can you imagine the dumps, what they would look like then?
Everybody.
How many bad ones? Where are they dumping them?
Where are they going to get rid of all
There's
those old
huge
solar panels?
piles of solar panels floating in the ocean.
Well, you got to.
That's what we do with everything.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question, because everybody's talking about recycling and shit. Like up in New York, you got Niagara Falls, the power of water. It's there. Nobody's, it's Mother Nature, and they're spinning these turbines. Where's the pollution at it? There's no is there any pollution?
Hydroelectric, I don't believe there is any pollution.
So why are we all getting nuts? Why aren't we just doing hydroelectric?
I think it's the big oil, all these big energy companies. They don't want these anything that's legitimately good, like hydroelectric,
Yeah, if
you know,
the
clean,
government's-
you know, they're going to take their money.
If the
Water's
government's
free.
pushing something,
Yeah,
then
it's
you know
bad.
it's not
Yeah.
good.
But I you know, like,
And
well,
there's
okay,
something
you know,
in it for them. That's
I
the
can live
only
with the,
reason.
I can live with the oil company. You know, I grew up with that. But we have the hydro. You know, we have these waterfalls, and I'm sure there's other waterfalls around the country. That, you know, what's the you're like? Yeah, that's what isn't what they do with dams? Isn't that what they create electricity out of
Yeah.
when they build the dams? So why are we looking into this shit?
Well, it's
you
a
know?
giant. I mean, selling power is one of the most profitable things to do.
And that's fine. They can, you know, they do it with the waterfall. It's Mother Nature, but they're charging you, the electricity that they're making, and that's fine. But they're not polluting anything. Why are we not sticking with that? It's not broken. Why are we trying to fix it?
Maybe there ain't enough Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's just stick with the gas, and that's it. You know, I mean, that's it.
I'm with you. I think you know fossil fuels are never going to leave.
Yeah.
The world runs on fossil fuels.
Make a better carburetor, right? I mean, come on, you know.
These third world countries, you know, that people would be starving if you made them switch. From gas.
Nikola Tesla had funds from the government to build this, this giant energy thing that would create energy and be able to give free energy away. And the second they heard that he was going to try and give the energy away for free, they shut him down and, got rid of everything.
And that was 100 years ago.
Tore everything down because he was, considering giving it away for free. And they're like, we can't have that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure, your first car, you probably got 15 miles to the gallon. My first car, I think I got 10 miles to the gallon. They constantly improved the carburetor. But now it seems like they just stopped. Okay, we're not going to improve the carburetor. We're going to shove an electric car down your throat. Improve the carburetor. There was always the rumor out there that this carburetor gave you 80 miles to the gallon, 100 miles to the gallon. They just don't want to put it out. I mean, what the hell,
Didn't you? Were you saying hydrogen?
Hydrogen. And didn't you fall for that in one of those carburetors? Isn't that the deal?
One of those what?
Carburetor deals? Isn't that why you were not mad at the neighbor?
Oh,
an engine.
He convinced me to buy some stock in some kind of cool energy thing that didn't produce any heat, and it was going to revolutionize it. And it went belly up 6 months after I got it. And then he didn't talk to me anymore. It's like, you're the one who talked me into the stock. Now you don't talk to me? I lost $1,500, man.
But yeah,
He'll never let that go.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you're the one that bought it. I mean, he didn't do nothing. He didn't make you buy it.
But he didn't talk to. He's like he.
I think not talking to us had something to do with Trace.
Yeah, it could have been.
He didn't like Trace riding his motorcycle around. He turned into that guy.
6 degrees of Trace.
I mean, and it was like an evolutionary thing. Like the guy, that's part of some people get cranky when they get old. Like he used to say, I like watching Trace ride his dirt bike at first. I drive by his road and he'd be like, I sit out there and watch Trace drive his dirt bike. And he got a little older. He's had no feelings about it. And then a little older and he's like, fuck that kid on that dirt bike.
Deaf my lawn. I guess that could be true.
You never rode on his lawn, did you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that.
Did you see that tiki hut fire in Tampa?
No.
So I didn't even know it was there. It's down off of, remember where Debbie used to live over near Anderson, and it's a big ass, the big ass tiki hut,
It was a bar with a tiki hut outside.
Giant outdoor tiki hut, probably.
The one on 54?
No.
Okay. This massive tiki hut. And they burned it down, and then they watched the security footage to figure out how it burned down, and it shows that the waitresses, they do a sparkler celebration for your birthday.
Oh, my goodness.
And the waitresses are doing this.
In a tiki hut.
Happy birthday! And the things are hanging right down there, and this girl set it on fire, burned the whole thing down.
Well, if somebody dies in that, can you get in trouble for holding up a sparkler?
I think the restaurant's going to have to pay everybody got out.
Yeah.
Everybody got out. But burn that thing to the ground, man. And he's like, the owner's like, yeah, we thought we did everything right. We had all the retardants and the chemicals to not let it burn. That thing went up like that.
Mhm.
It was like 2 seconds.
I was
with
like,
a
those
sparkler.
retardants did not work.
A sparkler, a sparkler is a lot hotter,
It's burning-
way
yeah,
hotter
it's burning
temperature
at
than
1,000 degrees.
Yeah, you're probably trying to, make sure nobody burns it down when they're a cigarette, and stuff like that. You're not expecting
True.
to put a 1,000-degree sparkler on it.
Imagine being that girl. You burn the
He
whole
said he
thing
wasn't
down.
mad at his employees.
Yeah,
Well, they're
but
probably
he
following
seemed,
its
he
trust.
seemed
He
pretty
approved the
devastated.
sparklers. It's on him.
I mean, it was probably his idea. Though. You don't
Probably
do
was.
sparklers for birthdays.
I
Who
don't
would
know.
use
It's almost a
sparklers in
given.
a tiki hut? I mean, that sounds like something Trace would want to
Sounds
do.
like a bad idea.
I do think
And
that
I'd be
even
like,
though
no.
if even though it was an accident, you burn the tiki hut down accidentally, you're fired. Like that's kind of a given. I don't know.
Do you have the video of that?
I couldn't find a video of that.
What?
Oh man,
That's
It
gotta
says the
be
video,
on.
but there's no, it's just a bunch of pictures. No, it says video, but then it don't give me the video. Watch bottle sparklers ignite devastating fire at popular restaurant. It talks about the video, but it doesn't give me a video. I have that problem a lot. Just watch these 8,000 pictures. I've never seen so many pictures.
There's a lot of pictures.
There's a video. No. According to a Facebook post, no. See, it doesn't give it. But yeah, they burned it down with sparklers.
Man, I've been to I went to a tiki hut a couple of years ago. They weren't even allowed to have lights or any like. You just you go to the beach and you're like, oh, it's a nice tiki hut, and it's like they had to pay for so much to get this tiki hut on the beach. It's like, why does everybody have to charge so much money for everything? They're like, we have to get 15 different contract or what do you call them?
Permits.
You got to get like 15 permits.
The government's going to get their money from you, man.
What is going on,
Probably
man?
cheaper just to take the summons.
All right.
Come and give me the summons.
Fees and permits. They love to ding you.
Man, I was so upset about those waves in the Antarctic. I've been waiting on them.
Yeah, it was a scam. You got scammed, Trey.
I haven't heard much about the war though. How's that doing?
Which one?
Just like it was really everywhere that we're about to get into World War III. It kind of died off. I feel like in the past day or two.
Yeah, it kind of did die off. It was all about Israel retaliating against Iran from the missiles attack, and then now we're just kind of. They're saying they're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're really stringing it along. I think they got to keep you worked up for as long as they can.
I think they could just bomb each other, as much as they want. And after about 2 or 3 days, the American people get bored of it. They can just keep bombing each other, and we're like, I saw that yesterday.
Saving face and making money. That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's a big scam.
Yeah, like the U.S. gave them, 2 days or 2-day warning. You're going to get attacked. 2 days later, they got attacked. Really? Really?
Yep.
800 missiles, only one got through. Really? Okay.
If you're Iran, why do you launch I think it was like 300 missiles and drones when they're not going to get through, and it's just going to be bad for you? They're going to retaliate, and they're going to retaliate way better because they got a lot more.
Yeah.
So why do you do it?
It's
almost like it's
just a safe face. That's all.
almost
Like you're not telling me what to do. And now Israel's like, yeah, we're going to attack, and not today, maybe tomorrow.
I think so. I think
and they're going to pace it out to where we just forget about it.
Didn't we just leave Iran though?
No, that's Iraq.
That's what
we got done screwing up Iraq, and now we're moving on to Iran.
Whatever.
It's like it's all fake. I think the Ukraine war. I think Russia's doing really good.
Russia's doing large. China and Russia are doing large.
And so and I think there's a lot of people and tons of politicians and arms makers getting rich in America.
Loaded. Exactly.
Wars aren't about nothing but money.
No, absolutely.
It's like it's a meat grinder. There's so many guys that die over there, and they're dragging them off the streets and making them fight. And it's for what?
But it's getting even better. To a point that not even people dying anymore. Like you said, 300 and some odd missiles and drones were fired, and I think one little Egyptian girl got hurt. That was it. How much did those 300 missiles and drones cost? And they got to be replaced. You know, they got to be replaced. So, you know.
I think like the Iron Dome that we probably pay for.
Yeah.
I think it's $80,000 a shot. Every missile that in the Iron Dome, they shoot a lot. So if you're shooting down 300, imagine
Well, what you usually shoot down and what you're shooting down, you're looking at 600-700 things now.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Somebody just made a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Man, did you pay much attention about Tucker Carlson going to Russia?
I saw a little bit of it.
I mean, that was just mind blowing, him just saying, our government is, everybody's saying, why don't you go live in Russia if you like it so much? He's like, because I'm not from Russia, I live in America.
Yeah.
I don't want to move to Russia. I just want my government to stop fucking the people over as bad as we are. He was going to train stops and, grocery stores, and it was all way nicer than here. And there wasn't people, zombies everywhere that are,
evil Russian zombies everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you go to some parts of, Florida even, or, California, and it's just hundreds of homeless people on the streets just passed out and living in tents, and
maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe, every country, just propagandizes its own people, telling them they're the best in the world, and some of them aren't. Maybe we used to be the best in the world, and our politicians seem dead set on turning America into a crap hole.
Exactly.
And it's like, I've never experienced, we always knew they were stealing your money, That's
you don't mind take a little off the top? How about it?
That's what they're doing, and now, but now they're like actively
ruining
the
country.
country.
Kind of taking the whole top
It's
off.
kind of disturbing.
it seems to be they're okay also with a different country, China, drugging out killing all these people with fentanyl.
Yeah,
and getting all these people addicted to drugs on the streets and programs that aren't designed for people to become not homeless anymore. And it just blows my mind.
They say, I'm hearing much more that the fentanyl thing is, it's CIA sponsored. I mean, it's intentional. Just like they put crack into the ghetto to keep a permanent underclass of people. The CIA. That's proven they did that in the 80s.
Yeah,
I think
don't know about the fentanyl.
I don't think they're trying. I don't think they're trying to stop it.
No, they're not trying to stop it. But I think the Chinese are just like, what do we got to fucking shoot them for? We just send in drugs, man. Send in fentanyl. The American people eat that drugs right up.
100,000 people a year.
Yeah, I mean, American people eat drugs up. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
And they're replacing them with Chinese people. Across the border, there's a lot of Chinese people coming across the Mexican border. They're not really reporting that, but I've seen plenty of videos of Chinese people.
And you can't get out of China. You cannot just walk out of China. So how are all these people that are oppressed and trying to flee oppression all of a sudden getting out all of a sudden?
Exactly.
They're not spies. And shit.
Wonder you can't just Chinese people can't just come here for vacation.
Not unless they're part of a certain class.
I think
there's no middle class China. They have and they have nots.
But I mean, they don't allow their people to leave.
They allow them, but they're monitored.
Yeah,
it's just I think it's more strict than it is here. It's not.
A lot of them sure seem to come here though for vacation and stuff.
But even there was a story in New York and stuff like that. New York has a big Chinese community and stuff, and a lot of them are watched by the Chinese government, and will tell them, what do you do, where do you work, let us know what you're doing, what's going on at your job, and they report back to the Chinese government.
Also, if you're in China and you have a shitty job, you're always going to have a shitty job,
more or less.
And there's no way to go up
unless you know some, unless you're family is somebody.
Yeah, but if your family is somebody, you're not doing that. If you're there's people that clean out, the sewers or whatever. And if your dad was a sewer cleaner, you're going to be a sewer cleaner. So you're not going to America on vacation.
Unless you say, fuck China, I don't want to be a sewer cleaner, and you won't. They'll kill you.
I mean, they have so many people. How are they able to keep track of all these people?
Well, actually, they've had a little problem lately with so many because they had that thing of not having kids anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a little bit of a problem of the 18 to 30 group or something, because there was a while there was nobody being born. So
Yeah.
they do have a little problem with their population, but.
I mean, half the population is probably so poor, that
yeah,
they don't
I
have
mean,
to really
yeah.
keep track of them.
Yeah,
And there's
I
only
mean, they're
certain-
up in the mountains or whatever.
But if you live in the city, you're getting facial recognized, and you got a social credit score system.
And that is what they're doing here. They keep putting those cameras. That shooting that was just happened over in Armature Works, they said they just kind of threw that out there during the story just a little bit and passed right over it. They said, then they found them due to, some social media and the facial recognition and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what? I just heard that facial recognition. So they got facial recognition cameras out there.
What they're going to do
they're
is
just putting them everywhere.
Let crime get so bad that you're like, yeah, we need
People
that
beg
facial
for
recognition.
facial
We gotta have
recognition.
it. Yeah, that's why they do it.
It's already done.
All right, we got to get out of here. Mike and Jerry show coming up. Thanks for tuning in to ClusterF. Good show, guys. Appreciate you coming in,
See
Jerry.
you guys.
Mike and Jerry coming up in a couple minutes. Don't forget Ned in your head tomorrow morning, 7:45, and Mike and Jerry coming up momentarily.
And now, a dramatic reading of the latest work of fiction by Nedley Mandingo III. 50 Shades of White. Trash.
In his Mountain Dew tank top and his tight cut-off jeans, Ted Johnson struck an imposing figure. And he knew it. His cockiness was matched only by his sperm count, which is the reason he had 7 illegitimate children from 7 different mothers. It was another dry, hot, dusty day in his Lake Placid trailer park. He was a handyman by trade, and he was currently 3 hours late for a plumbing job he was completely ill-equipped to handle. His only hope was that the woman of the house needed a good pipe cleaning more than she needed her leaky faucet fixed. He pulled his Pontiac Firebird into the gravel driveway with the kind of overblown macho swagger that can only be pulled off by someone who is deep, deep white trash. He used his tan, muscular arms to haul himself out of the car through the T-tops, since the driver's side door was permanently jammed from a Jim Beam-induced rollover from 3 years ago. He walked confidently as he made his way up to the trailer, his boots crunching with every step on the dusty limestone. The trailer was moldy and unkempt, with a distinct sag in the middle. He made his way to the front of the trailer, climbing up the steps, which were not steps at all, but actually old milk crates piled haphazardly in front of a screen door. He started to knock, but then a young woman suddenly appeared and opened the door. "Howdy," she said. "My name's Deirdre." She was a stocky girl, well on her way to being grossly overweight, but still able to cling on to that last bit of sexiness, until the next bucket of fried chicken ripped it from her pudgy fingers. He could tell her ass was big, but stuffed and molded into her too-tight jeans, it was shapely enough. Ted pretended to accidentally drop his pen, and she quickly bent down to retrieve it, her faded blue jeans stretching to their limit, like 10 pounds of shit stuffed into a 5-pound sack. The sexual tension between the two was immediate and obvious, almost as obvious as the ample bulge in his cut-off shorts. Feeling a burst of confidence from the 3 Percocets he had taken a half hour before, Ted brushed up against her backside with the turgid outline of his penis. She turned and looked into his eyes with a stare that said, "My uncle raped me when I was 11, so obviously I'll screw you." Never one for subtlety, Ted ripped down her tube top, revealing 2 enormous, undulating breasts that seemed to be at least double E's. Ted quickly undid his massive Harley-Davidson belt buckle, as Deirdre struggled to wiggle out of her too-tight jeans like a garter snake trying to shed its old skin. Ted couldn't help noticing her nipples were long, pink, and hard as the 3-day-old cat shit sitting on the kitchen counter behind him. He pulled down his pants and waited for the gasp as he revealed his oversized manhood. Deirdre did gasp in awe, the kind of gasp usually reserved for a $25 Cracker Barrel gift card.
Do you like trailers? Who doesn't? So come on down to American Trailers. Brandon from American Trailers has been repairing and customizing trailers almost as long as he's been taking illicit drugs. Broken axles, rusty tongues, greasy, noisy winches. Brandon knows all the latest Urban Dictionary sex acts. And he'll fix your trailer too.
American Trailers, you haven't lived until you've seen Brandon from American Trailers light a joint with the flame from his welder while he's sanding a rusty ball mount. Why would you go anywhere else other than American Trailers? Because you're a goddamn communist. Brandon from American Trailers bleeds red, white, and blue, my friends. He poops stars and stripes. He urinates freedom. Brandon makes trailers great again. Do trailers get you hard? Then come to American Trailers, because Brandon is hard for trailers 24/7. And if you ever saw him slide a greased up hinge pin into a ball mount after inserting it into a brand new virgin receiver tube, you'd know why I spend my afternoons parked across from American Trailers watching Brandon with my binoculars. Hold on! American Trailers! Give him a call at 813-627-8885. 813-627-8885. Assholes.
Welcome to the Mike and Jerry Show.
We're back.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. Nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about. It's fixing to get crazy, I think. I think it's going to be a wild summer of craziness.
Yeah, I just can't figure out how they're going to do it. They're just going to...
I don't even...
They're going to, reinvent Black Lives Matters and start riots again. And what are they going to do before the election so they can... blame,
It's getting close because COVID and BLM started like around now.
Yeah.
So it's,
so
the shit's about to hit the fan.
Come up with some shit.
I couldn't tell you what it's going to be. Could be a million different things.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously that Black Lives, the BLM or whatever the hell it was, I think that's kind of fairly dead. But to come up with some other initials.
No, it's going to be something.
Come up with some other initials or whatever,
something completely different.
Something else, and start burning shit down, and blame Trump or whoever.
And then all these people, like the BLM, all these people who were so outraged that they were rioting in the streets, just kind of dropped it like a hot potato.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they were just caught up in the moment trying to be cool, and it had nothing to do with BLM.
Well, maybe like now you got the Hamas people all screaming and stuff. So yeah, maybe that's going to be it this summer. Maybe it'll be maybe they'll run that through the summer.
Do you think, like, the racial relations in America, that's something that people have to deal with. We don't have to deal with that. That doesn't.
We got enough problems of our own.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect people. So do you think you could get them worked up enough to riot in the streets?
Well, I guess they're shutting down bridges and stuff, so that you're gonna piss people off. It's just it's funny that these people in like Columbia colleges and Yale and Harvard, they're spending like $80,000 a year, are very offended, whether it's Egyptian or Jewish or whatever, of how they're having such a tough life, and that might be the downfall of people just can't get with that, like really you're going to Harvard and you're having a tough time. So I don't know.
Yeah, I saw. I guess this. I still don't have the story. It said that Google just fired 28 employees who were protesting for Hamas, and it's like, see, they weren't firing people for BLM
exactly
at all.
Exactly.
So I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know if that could be.
And it's too much. Even go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's too much support in Israel. For Israel in this country. I'm particularly ambivalent about any other country, but there's a ton of people who support Israel.
See, when the October 7th happened, I was very shocked that there wasn't that much support. There was a lot of non-support for Israel, when Israel responded
Yeah.
and stuff. And now it's kind of going back to where I thought it was, to where it's support for Israel. But like the White House and stuff, they didn't come out and say shit. And a lot of politicians, they're not making any statements about the anti-Israel stuff and whatnot. Debt to America, and everybody said, even still. It's kind of going back to pro-Israel, but a lot of people still are not opening up their mouths and going, "Yeah, we got to back Israel." A lot of them are still keeping their mouths shut.
So what, as the Democrats, I mean, they're not stupid. So why are they not backing Israel as much as you would think they would?
I'm thinking there's a lot of Middle Eastern people in this country all of a sudden, because I don't know how many Jewish people are in this country, but I'm thinking all of a sudden there's a lot of Middle Eastern people, and they got a little bit of a clout, because seriously, I mean, what's her name up in Minnesota? She's like, yeah, fuck America. I mean, a lot of them are just, AOC. Yeah, America's a tyrant and shouldn't be, supplying arms to Israel and all this shit. So obviously there's something there that they think they can get.
There's a huge Muslim population in Michigan, and has been for years. So
Yeah.
I imagine now it's even more. So there's certain areas, and I saw a woman, and she's like, she's not voting for Biden because of his stance on Israel.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
and I mean, this thing is. I don't think it's hurting the Republican Party whatsoever. I think the Republican Party is out of that. I think it's like the Democrats and the far left Democrats are involved in this thing, as far as where the votes are going. Because I think the Republicans are like, yeah, okay, we'll send some, because the Republicans aren't sending anything, to Hamas or anything. They're like, all right, we'll send Israel some money, but the Democrats are going, no, stop that shit, or a certain, group of Democrats are.
See, the thing is, that's why they, you can't, they make it so it's like, well, I don't want money to go to either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Either place,
yeah, exactly.
but don't act like I'm. I agree that neither.
You're
place
anti
should,
something. Yeah.
I'm anti the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's it.
But they're gonna end up giving both, because that's how it works.
Exactly.
Just pouring. We ain't got no money to send to nobody.
That's exactly
what
it.
Talking about.
And I don't get. Billions of. And I'm still like 2 months ago I said this or whatever, when the Chinese guy Z came over to San Francisco.
Yeah.
The homeless people disappeared. They weren't there. They disappeared. Where the fuck did they go? What did they do with them? And was that the solution? Because they moved them somewhere, and now they're back. And I think they did it in L.A. too. Somewhere not too long ago in L.A., all of a sudden they disappeared, and then they're back. What's going on here? I mean, let's not send a couple of missiles to Ukraine and Israel, and whatever it costs to do that, let's do it. I mean,
they just bust them out temporarily.
All right, where'd you bust them to? Because it's costing taxpayers, businesses are fleeing San Francisco. They're all gone. New York City, half of, they have twice as many vacancies now as before COVID. I mean, come on now.
The homeless, this isn't like a conspiracy theory. Homeless, it's big business.
Yes, it is, without a doubt.
Not solving the homeless crisis is big business. Not solving it.
Yeah.
Billions to just steal and start things that don't work and pay your buddies, so that they don't want to. If they probably know how to solve homelessness or help, then they don't want to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They proved that they know how to, clean the streets anyway, and they have a place where they can ship them. Because they did it. They shipped them somewhere. They have a place where they can ship them. So, all right, that's it. Put them there. And then, cut back 2 missiles here, 2 missiles there, and put that money there, and let's go from there, and see what happens. But like you said, you're right. You're right. There's too much money involved in it.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys are veterans. If we treated our veterans better, and gave them, the VA. Those places are nightmares. And gave them better treatment, then we wouldn't have so many homeless veterans.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't give a crap about them once they come back.
And it's funny because private organizations are doing better with our veterans than what the government is. Outside of maybe the VA hospital. But as far as housing and stuff like that, private organizations do better with homeless VA housing than the government does.
Well, Donna says this all the time. She's like, the government steals your money and doesn't do shit for veterans because they know that private people will. And people will even forget that the government should be doing this stuff.
Exactly.
The guy who lost both his legs, I think, should be taken care of for life. If you're in a war and you lost your legs, everybody probably in America agrees that guy should be taken care of. But he's not.
In a monetary way, and I'm not saying it's enough, but he is given, a check every month. I don't know what it is, and I'm sure it's not enough.
But enough to have
he's
a
given
decent life.
And he's given free insurance for life. But it's the VA hospital, and it could be 100 miles away from him. And what's a guy with no legs going to do with a hospital 100 miles away from him? It's just the government, and I've said it for years. The federal government is only good for one thing and one thing only. Making weapons and keeping me safe from the, making war and whatnot, making planes and bombs and stuff like that. Don't get involved in hospitals, healthcare, all this bullshit that they're trying to get involved with, education. Stay the freak out of it. Stay the hell out of it.
We should go back to just more of a states' rights.
Exactly
approach
right.
And just let, every state.
Exactly. And all this stuff about school boards and this and that. If you're a principal of a school and your school is failing, you're fired. Goodbye. And I don't remember having a school board when I grew up in New York City. It was New York City Education Center. And that was it. And I think if the school sucked, the principal was fired. That was it. Then years later, we have to have a school board. We got to monitor and this and that. And everything's gotten worse. Every time the government gets involved, things get worse.
The Department of Education is a huge enterprise that spends billions of dollars on education. They don't do anything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You can eliminate the Department of Education.
We have to have transgender perform in front of us grammar school kids? That's what we have the Department of Education for? Is that what it is? I mean, come on. Say, bail reform. Government gets involved with bail reform. Big failure. Big failure. Everything they get involved in, it's a big. Name me one thing the government got involved in. It's state government and local government too that they got involved in. It got worse. Law reform got worse. Crime is up. One thing, you know what, and I'm going to be a homeboy on this, but you got to give it up for DeSantis. They had all these squatters going into houses all around the country.
Yep.
Sitting and like in 2 seconds, DeSantis says, "You know what? Here's a new law. You get caught squatting, you're going to jail." This and that. The other day they shut down New York, Chicago, L.A. protests, Hamas protests, and this and that. They tried it in Miami. Cops got in, dragged them right off the street. We don't put up with that shit here.
I saw that.
You got to give it. And where is the outcry of these squatters being abused or these protesters being abused? No, they weren't abused. They were just moved. Get out. You don't own the house. Get out. You don't have the right to block traffic. Move.
What is the motivation for whatever entity, the government, the governor, to allow people to block the highways, and not because it has to be intentional? You could send 40 cops out there in a couple paddy wagons and clear it in half an hour, right?
Absolutely.
So what is the benefit to?
I have no. It is the mayor, the whatever who's running the show that says I don't want to lose votes because they shut down the Golden Gate Bridge. It came to a dead stop in the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge. So you go and you get a bunch of freaking paddy wagons, which a big truck that they lock people up in and throw them in. You get a bunch of them. You back them up the wrong way on the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. You load them into the truck, Drive away, and the bridge is open. 15, 20 minutes.
But
that's it. 15, 20 minutes.
But
Done.
that's what people want.
Yes, people do want that.
So the vast majority of people want that. So what votes? You're just pissing people off. You want to piss people off. You make them sit on a bridge for 3 hours.
Exactly.
I'm not voting for that guy who let these people do that. So what is? It's some kind of concerted effort to do something, but I don't know what it is.
And I also blame, most of these places, are Democratic places that this is happening in, New York City run by Democrats, and LA or whatever, Miami or whatever. But I blame the Republican Party for not having anybody that can run up against them. I mean, how can you not win against this? I mean, everybody's pissed at this. Everybody's pissed at the homeless. Everybody's pissed at the immigrants. Everybody's pissed at crime.
Inflation.
Everybody's pissed at inflation. And I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about local city and state governments. Everybody's pissed at what the governor and mayors are doing in those cities and states. How do you not have somebody that can run up against them and win by a landslide? And yet they don't.
It's almost as if
they're not trying.
It's almost as if they don't want to win.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you can't come up with I mean, LA's got Steve Garvey's running against what's his name? I mean, how does he not win by a landslide?
Is that hasn't happened yet? Right?
No, it's not happened yet.
I mean, Steve Garvey, he was an
all-American stuff. Now, I don't know what his politics are and stuff. Obviously, he's probably a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, I think he is.
But how do how do you not win against that schmuck?
I don't know how you don't win.
Yeah.
It almost seems like everything's rigged to me.
And I almost got to say, even the Republican Party. Again, I don't know what Garvey's, he might be, a legitimate good candidate besides being a baseball player. But, is this it? Is this the best you came up with, Steve Garvey? Now, I know he ran against 2 or 3 other people, so maybe he is, maybe he is. But, like in New York City, like for the mayor, they brought up Curtis Sliwa. Really? The freaking Republican Party? That's what you came up with? I mean, come on. And like you said, maybe they're just like, yeah, screw it. We want our money too, the Republican Party. We'll let you have the power and, just give us a cut of the money. I don't know.
The people that they get, you look at the Fetterman and you look at the just like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Barbara.
Yeah.
They're just putting all this trash up here. Really basically like total white trash. The AOCs. She was like a barmaid.
Well, you know what? I think because people are voting for the home team. Like AOC won because she was Spanish. Simple as that. That's the only reason why she ran. The only reason why she won was because she was Spanish. The old Irish guy thought, he was there for 15, 20 years, thought he was a lock. And, I got to give AOC credit. She went around and knocked on doors, but she's an idiot, But now you know what you have for the last 4 years. It's time to vote her out. Whether it's get another Democrat in or whatever you want, but you see that there's nothing there.
But like I've been saying, okay, so like everything you're saying is true, and to me that points to massive sweeping victories in the next election for Republicans. So if that doesn't happen, what is your explanation?
Is people are fucking idiots.
You think you're going to say that, or is it just they finally just
totally
rigged it?
You know what?
Totally
They've got us so against each other. They've literally divided the country. They literally divided the country, and they're going to vote for Biden no matter what Biden does. And you're going to have people that vote for Trump no matter what Trump does. But that's that's on a bigger scale or whatever. But like I said, you got somebody on a lower scale like AOC who, how do you not, even if you're a Democrat, say, well, I'm going to run against her, and I should be able to beat her. And okay, then you go and you beat the Republican. But there should be, the Democrats should be going, yeah, we got to get somebody with a half a brain in here. We need somebody, that can kind of represent us a little better,
But I don't
know.
If Joe Biden wins this election, and conditions are pretty much what they are right now.
Yeah.
That he doesn't win. It's like if it's almost
No, he shouldn't. It should be a landslide.
It's an impossibility. Nobody votes for a president when they're paying $4 a gallon for gas or more, $2,000 for rent, and their grocery bill is through the roof. There's no way he legitimately wins. That's what I'm saying. He cannot legitimately. You can pay off all the student loans you want, and last time you did it, and then you reneged on it last time.
Yeah.
So why would you believe him
But
again?
you have people out there that's gonna vote for him no matter what. He could come out and go, listen, yeah, I know the last 3 years are tough, and you vote for me again, the next 4 years are gonna get tough too. But I need your vote, and you'll have fucking people vote for him. Yeah, he can come out and say, "Listen, I'm gonna get gas up to $5 a gallon," and they'll still vote for him.
And you think they've done that because they've divided us so much?
Exactly.
But are we really that divided? And it's only the people like you and I and other, certain that pay attention.
There's not that many of us that pay attention.
So if you're not paying attention, you're not even watching the news, and all you know is you're paying more for gas and more for groceries, and your insurance went up, and you're not voting for that guy. I think it's impossible that he wins unless that's what it's all rigged.
Yeah, well,
I think there'd be a lot of people like you see the January 6th deal. I think this time people would really go, well, definitely. They tried to put him in jail 8 times. And then he was leading in the polls by 52 to 48, and he still lost. Something's up. Something's rotten.
I mean, how do you not? I know people are going to go nuts because I'm going to start doing Trump shit now. But how do you not actually say this is not election interference? I mean, they tried to keep him off the ballot in a couple of states. They're trying to trump up charges, bad word. They're trying to bring up charges of shit that just they're not crimes. It's things that people do every day. People say, yeah, my house is worth $100,000, and it's not. It's worth $85,000. But you say that so you can get, a little bit more money or whatever. I mean, not a... hush money. What hush money? It was his own money. Political money.
What's going to stop them from doing this? Because if the media, you know what, 90% of the media is going to report that he did, he's pretty much guilty, and we got to get this. He's the worst person in the world. We got to get him off the street. He's a criminal. I don't see how the media is behind the government. They can do whatever.
I don't know if we're past stopping this, because even like if he wins and he tries, okay, listen, the hell with these. I'm not having revenge or nothing. I just want to shut down the border. I want to cut down crime. They're still going to try to lock him up. For the next 4 years, he'll probably get impeached another 2 times. They just don't want. And the media. I mean,
seems like
how do you
can't win for losing is what you're saying, Jerry.
Exactly.
We can't win for losing.
That's what I'm saying. And maybe past that we can't do anything about it. Because how do you let people out of jail for guns and this and that or whatever, and you have an ex-president of the United States on trial for hush money, and you're not going to let him go to his son's graduation? Is he a flight risk? He's running for president. I don't think he's a flight risk. Okay? So how do you not let him go? The guy's rich, so he can fly down to the graduation after it's over, fly back. So we're talking a couple hours, and you're not going to let him go to his son's graduation? Now, there's a reason for a riot. There's a reason for a riot right there.
So they do that because they know people, it's going to outrage people. And half the people are going to go, ha, good.
That's what I'm saying, and that's my point.
And so they can, and the media is going to say it's okay. So it's just going to happen.
And you know what? And if he goes, they'll lock him up and say, "See, we got him." He'll for going to see his son's graduation, they'll wind up giving him 10 years in prison while people all over the place are being let go with guns and throwing people in front of subways and everything else. They're let go. But for this guy going to see his son graduate, they'll put his ass in jail.
Or is, this is all just a game. Trump's never going to get convicted. He hasn't been convicted yet. They're just going to stretch it out, because that's on the news every night. I just fast forward it. Trump on trials and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
care. But I'm watching. I stopped watching them. I stopped watching NBC completely because when they threw off whatever the Republican girl that they hired, the head of the Republican, they threw out, we don't like her. How the hell can you be a news, and they're not a news organization? Technically, they're not a news organization, but they all, we can't have her on this show. Well, then I'm following what NBC says. If I disagree with you, I should not watch you. So I no longer watch NBC. I don't watch NBC Channel, MSNBC, none of that shit anymore. It does not go on my TV anymore because I'm following what NBC says. If I disagree with them, I should not watch them. Just like they disagree with her. They got rid of her. I got rid of them.
Yeah,
that's the way they're going, though.
It's all a stunt. It was all a stunt. You don't hire somebody like her.
But they came out and said it, though. These are people who were supposed to be giving you an objective view of things. And they came out and said, we don't like her. She stands for something that we don't like. Well, no, have a discussion with her. Why are you that way? Why do you believe in this? Why do you believe in that? Give me your point of view. No, we don't want to hear your point of view. You're fired.
You don't think you don't think they knew her points of view before they hired her?
Not the telecast, not the people that were doing the shows. No, they all said Rachel Maddow and this and that. We had nothing to do with her hiring. We didn't know anything about it, and we don't want her. The head of the NBC, whoever hired her.
Nah, that's all. It's all fake. I ain't buying any of that for a minute.
Because they showed the clips of it of how pissed off they were, and I don't understand how can I disagree with you?
No,
and not listen to your opinion.
Rachel Maddow is a paid actress, and she has no political opinions at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not a news program.
She didn't hate this woman. She's phony as the day is long. You could pay her $2 more million and she'd become a right-wing extremist.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not a news program.
So they didn't. They didn't hate her. They weren't. They're fucking fake. They're told every one of their talking head on TV is told what to do. I've been in the media. I know exactly what I could and what I couldn't say, and if they told me not to talk about something, that's what I did.
But how can me and you be talking here right now, and if I disagree with you, Jerry, you're out. Goodbye. Sorry, Jerry, you don't go along with with my format. You're done. Michael, can I give you my opinion? No. Goodbye. How can you?
I can do that. I'm a private company.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You'll never convince me.
But on my part, I can do it by not going to that channel, and that's what I do. And that's what I think MSNBC before this incident had a problem to start off with because they're just going way too wacky.
Well, you see,
CNN's coming. CNN's coming a little bit back towards center.
What is happening? I know exactly what's happening. Is they don't really hate this woman. They're setting the stage for less and less opposing views and keeping America. The people that they keeping the left ideology going and going, and this is just a big distraction. It's a big distraction. They wouldn't have hired her in the first place if they gave one rat's ass about the truth, and not one media outlet gives one rat's ass about the truth.
Let me go at it this way. I just took a pill and I became this ultra far left liberal. Mm-hmm. What's in it for me? Like you know my situation where I live, this that pretty much financially whatever. What's in it for me? If I become okay, I'm Biden and this and that. What's in it for me? What's the benefit of me becoming going left?
I don't really see anything.
I can't think of anything. Am I pro-criminal? Am I pro-illegal immigrant? I guess that's the only thing.
Pro-inflation.
Am I pro-inflation? I guess that's it. I want my money to go instead of further, to go get less with my dollar. I don't get. I can see the rich people, the news people and stuff. Yeah, they get money and stuff. Does it bother them that gas is $3.75 a gallon? No, it doesn't faze them in the least. They could give a shit less. They're going to go on a boat, and instead of gas for a boat is $4, it's $5 a gallon. It doesn't faze them in there. But the middle class, say, liberal, whatever, the teachers, a lot of teachers are liberal and stuff like that. What's in it for them? I don't get it. I don't get what's, if I was to become an ultra liberal and go Joe Biden and this and that, what's in it for me? And I can't come up with anything.
Well, I would say what you said earlier is if you could go in with that, it would be the division. So
I joined the team.
You're the liberal.
Okay.
And on your social media, you watch CNN and MSNBC, so every day you're hit with that.
Right.
And then on your social media feed, you're hit with more of that, of how what you believe as a left-wing lunatic is the truth. 365 every day. I mean, every year. You're brainwashed.
See, I'm not going to have an abortion anytime soon, so that knocks out like 90% of what the Democrats have to say. Okay? I'm not going to college, so I don't need I'm not paying off a college loan. So that pretty much knocks out 100% of what the Democrats have any type of appeal to me. Like if I need an abortion or something, it's legal. Or if I have a college loan, they'll pay it off for me. After that, they got nothing for me.
You're leaving out the largest factor as to why you would vote Democratic is because you can't stand the orange man. That's more important than anything.
Yeah, but you know what? If DeSantis was running, it'd be the same thing. You don't think they'd be, you don't think there'd be, same shit? All right, they may not be trying to lock him. They'd be looking for shit to lock him up for, but they may not be trying to lock him up yet.
Well, you can't see, the Trump is an easy target because
he's out there.
He's got the it factor, but he also irritates people because he tells it like it is.
He tells us, yeah.
See, you could make people not like DeSantis, but you couldn't get the level of hate that it takes to vote against somebody. They couldn't do it. Trump is their perfect. That's why they keeping it going. He's not going to go to jail. He's gonna run because he's their perfect opponent because they can just convince the base to hate him worse than they've hated anybody ever in the world. Yeah. So I don't know I really don't know.
And I get this, but it's just like, and like I said, they divide it. It's like being, a Yankee fan or a Met fan. You always, if you're a Yankee fan, you're going to back the Yankees. Or a Lightning fan or a Panther fan. You're going to back the Lightning or you're going to back the Panthers. No matter what happens, you're not going to switch allegiance to your team. But they've done that to this country.
Yeah, because that's why you have Republican and Democrat. It goes like this. Because people are like, switch. They're like, oh, this guy did a shitty job. We're going to vote for this.
Well, but it's not I think there's only about 20% that switches. I think you got like 40 and 40. And you got about 20%
but now you don't have that 20.
No.
See, now
you're down to about 10, I think.
So it's like...
And they're getting better at it. They're getting better at dividing the country. You had 80% divided. Now you got 90% divided.
Or are we not really that divided, and it's just a media illusion, and the election's just rigged?
Well, it's either rigged or we're divided. Because if we're not divided, how did he lose? How did he lose 3 years ago?
Because it was rigged.
Then it was rigged. Because he really wasn't doing a bad. You may not like him, but he wasn't doing a bad job. So how did he lose? And got more votes than what he got the first time when he was elected.
Like when he was running for re-election, I didn't vote for him. But my life was, I was fine. I really, didn't notice much of a change. And then when Joe Biden came in, I noticed a lot of stuff was more expensive, and a lot of this one, and the insurance, and all violence and immigration. So
that's what I'm saying. And that goes back to what you're saying. So how could this guy win? How could this guy win?
And if you're on the left, you should be disgusted that like normal people. I'm about as politically normal and middle of the road as you can get. If I show support or say, well, I'm not voting for that, I just vote for Trump because this is god awful, I'm some kind of lunatic asshole. And it's like that should offend you that they're saying that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of
and that's if you listen to 3, 4, 5 different stations. That if you go that way, you're a lunatic asshole. Not to say that Fox, whatever, because if you're totally left to Fox, you're a lunatic asshole. So it goes that way too.
But neither. Nobody used to do that.
No, not at all.
It was like
not
you
at
vote
all.
for you and you vote for you. I may disagree with you, but get out there and vote. Now it's like you vote this way, fuck you. It's
That's
like
what they divided the country.
So it's
or
has it all an illusion? Because I've never met anyone who was particularly, super supportive of what we got going on now.
No, and again, I mean if you went down and didn't use names or parties. And you said, listen, this is what's happening now. We have inflation, we have crime, we have people crossing the border, we have fentanyl. Just keep going. With this administration, what do you think? You think we need to switch, administrations? Not using parties, not using names, not using anything, just administration. Do you think we need to change administrations? I would think 95% would say, probably, yeah. I think you could probably go down to like 12-year-olds on that, and they would say, yeah.
I don't get how they've convinced people that the undocumented hordes of people coming over a border isn't a big deal. How have they managed? It's
and
like
I don't
to
think
me,
they convince people.
Donna won't let me watch it. She says she gets physically ill watching all these undocumented people who could be anybody from anywhere coming across the border and not, they don't have to come to a trial date for like 5 years and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't think they convinced anybody that it's a good thing. Even like in Texas when they said, no, this isn't good. And Texas was like, well, we'll stop. And the government said, no, you can't do that. And stuff like that. And then, everybody's like, well, yeah, we're a sanctuary city, And then they started shipping them up there and they're going, well, no, we can't. Too bad. And people in New York, people in Chicago, they don't want them either. The people don't want them, but the government's saying, oh, yeah, we'll take them.
And back, to your point, like, these people in the inner city who are protesting the immigration because they're taking resources that should go to them,
yeah.
They're not voting for this administration. Because
you would think.
No, they're not. When you're that affected, when something hits you deep in your pocketbook or deep in your community, that's where the party affiliation goes out the window.
You see, things where they're saying, Trump is starting to pick up on the black vote and the Latino vote and this and that. And I kind of get it, but I don't know if, when push comes to shove on election day, if they actually hit that button. Some will. I would imagine Trump will make a pickup in minority votes, but for whatever reason, the Democrats will still get 85% or whatever. And instead of Trump getting 10%, he may get 15%. But for whatever reason, when you got to hit that switch, they still hit that Democratic switch. I don't know why.
Excuse me. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think they will say.
I hope you're right.
I think they'll say that's what happened. Yeah. I think he's going to win, and they're going to say that 85% voted for him. Well, then
or they didn't vote at all. I don't know.
I think it's all rigged.
It's rigged.
They finally figured. Yeah, maybe it's been rigged for a long time.
Yeah, I said it was rigged the last one, but it's. They try to make it so easy. Oh, no, you don't need, the Democrats, you don't need ID to vote. You don't need this, you don't need that. Well, how are you not saying that and saying we're trying to rig the election? I mean, you need ID for a driver's license, everything like that. All sorts of things. If you die, you need all sorts of freaking ID to say that you're dead. You're done. It's over. You need all sorts of ID just to say that you're dead. To prove that you're dead, you need like 3 forms of ID to prove that you're dead to the Social Security Administration. To prove that you're dead. But to vote, oh yeah, come on in. We don't care who you are.
I agree that you should have to show ID to vote, but I don't think you could possibly get people voting enough to influence an election in the millions. Get somebody to vote. You have to get hundreds of thousands of people to vote multiple times.
I think you can. I think they do with Meals on Wheels and all this other stuff and whatnot. I think they do because they're all social and good good social programs. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Meals on Wheels or anything like that. They are, for the Democrats, yeah, you did do some good things. You got some good social programs going on and stuff, and things for the elderly and senior citizens' homes and stuff. But you know what? I mean, I can't prove it, but I'll go to my grave thinking that, yeah, they go into the Meals on Wheels homes, these senior citizens stuff, and say, yeah, here, sign this, and they fill it out for them. And I'll go to my grave thinking that. I'm sorry, I got no proof on it, but I'll go to my grave believing it.
I think it's much more believable.
And you can get, shitload. You can get millions of votes that way.
I think it's much more believable that the voting is done basically digitally, and if the leader, if whoever's in charge of voting is, the Democrats are basically in control of the government. It's like printing money. You just
exactly.
You just hit a switch.
I get along, but
you go into the electronic voting machines. You hit a switch and you win.
And again, I don't know.
I think that's totally believable, and I think that's what happens. And I think you're insulting me to think that's not you. No, I'm not saying you.
No, but
if you don't think that's a possibility,
my opinion.
It's the government. The government is crooked. Why do you think the elections aren't crooked?
Well, that's what and my next thing is saying, well, where do I go to check to see that my vote was counted? Can I go and see electronically where like if I send you an email, you can show me the email that I sent you. Where do I go to find out where my vote went?
Nowhere.
So you might be right there. And that was part of Trump's thing, that the computer company or whatever that was running this election, some company in Greece or something, like what the hell was that all about? But they kind of just blow that off, and say, oh, it's a big fake thing and all that bullshit, but what was that all about? So yeah, you might be right, because I don't know how. I remember years ago in New York City, like as a cop, on election day, you worked in a precinct, voting precinct, and you watched and this and that, and at the end of the day, those things were tabulated to that machine and it went into a sealed envelope, and you carried them back to the police precinct, and then somebody from there picked them up. Now, I'm not saying went to City Hall and City Hall threw them out the window. I don't know.
Right in the dumpster.
I don't know, but I know for a certain part of the voting process was legit, but now this electronic shit, I don't know, how you can prove it. It's, I want to see my vote. Oh, okay, let's see what Jerry.
I don't think.
All right.
I don't think at all.
This is the way he really voted, but this is the way we put it in. Or he wants to see, show him the way he really voted. I don't know. I mean, why couldn't you do? Why couldn't you do that? If you got AI, why couldn't you do that?
They could just fake it with AI.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, why couldn't they do it?
Ned's Navy says. He says, I agree with Lulu. I think this legal stuff is not helping Trump at all. He says, maybe with gang members and thugs that don't vote. Well, you know what? I think what this year, so like for someone like me, who I view myself as a rather rational person, when I see Trump, all this going on with Trump, I don't necessarily not believe it. Maybe he did it. But every other president does the same shit. You think these presidents aren't banging women? That no president's cheating on his wife, and then she's either getting paid off, or maybe they're dumping her in a landfill. These guys have all done this shady shit, but you act like he's the first one who's ever done it.
I mean, Bill Clinton. I mean, you don't have to go. You don't have to be an old person, to remember Bill Clinton. Come on, really? I mean, this guy's notorious. Okay, all right.
And if you're like, say you're a black voter, and you're seeing, you're like, man, it looks like the system's getting him. You can relate to that, and you're like,
well,
why? They're like, why is the system trying to? It's usually trying to get me. Now it's trying to get Trump.
Yeah.
And so I can see why people would vote if they think he's like everything he's said to do, everybody else does, and people like when Eminem came about on this thing, he's like, Trump, he does not care about his base. He doesn't give a fuck about you people. It's like, and any other politician does? No. So why is he held to a different standard than every other politician? If the worst thing Trump, you could say he did, is be just like everybody else. That's the worst thing, but he's special and he's the worst ever.
And that's the way I go and look at him, saying, look what they're doing to him. And he's really hasn't, I'm sure he's had a couple of affairs or whatever. I'm not sure, but I'll just say he's had a couple of affairs. Like you said, like
everybody, like
all
Kennedy,
the other presidents, like
Kennedy,
all the other presidents,
like Kennedy wasn't
like all the other
begging
presidents.
movie stars.
Yeah. But look what they're doing to this guy, going after him for phone calls, for this, for that, for having stuff that he took from the White House and having it in his basement of his Mar-a-Lago and this and that. And look what they're doing to him. Just think of all the money that he's spending and trying to defend himself. What shot do I got if they come after me? I got no shot. I got no shot whatsoever. What am I? I'm going to mortgage my house. I'm going to mortgage everything. I'm going to spend every dime I got just so I said my house was worth $500,000 when it's only worth $450,000. I'm going to spend everything because I didn't vote for the right person in Sumter County. They're going to come after me, and they can if they want, because they went after Trump for that. So if you could do it to Trump, you certainly could do it to me.
So you lie about how much your house is worth. You get a loan, and more than you should, and then you pay the loan.
It all back.
And then you pay it all back. It's like that's what you're being charged with, is lying about how much you home, which most people do.
Yeah, everybody does it. Every real estate person in the world does it.
Yeah, and so you did what most people do, and then you still paid the loan back. And why are you getting,
You do it with cause.
And see, like that should be like something where it's just the average person is like, you tell him the facts. He lied. He embellished his words.
Right.
Got these big loans, paid them back, and the average person should go, so what's the big fucking deal, right?
But no crime, no victim.
But they've divided you so bad.
There's no victim.
You're like, geez, bro. It's.
I mean, how do you buy a car today? I mean, you go in sticker price. Well, I can't pay sticker price. You don't think the car dealers know? Okay, they're all coming in and they're not paying sticker price. Raise sticker price, and then we'll bring it down. Instead of sticker price being $22,000, we'll make it $24,000 and tell them, okay, it's $22,000. We gave them a deal. How is every car dealership not locked up for embellishing the prices of a car?
See, it's just proof of it's like a brainwashing psychosis, because in my opinion, Joe Biden, all this inflation and there's a lot of crap, this woke stuff, which they fully support, this trans and woke stuff. I don't agree with any of it. And so you have to. How are you brainwashed? Yeah. You have to be brainwashed to support this stuff. If you're supporting, Joe Biden, you're supporting a new $1 billion industry of altering children's genitals. That's not me who's saying that. It's a fact.
Right.
They've got all these gender clinics popping up all over the country.
And I agree with you, and I'm sure you agree with what I'm about to say. I agree with you. I don't go along with all this woke shit, but I don't go along with beating up gay people or beating up transgenders or beating up anybody else. They deserve whatever right I'm entitled to. They deserve whatever right. But they're not entitled to more rights than what I'm entitled to. And I'm not going into grammar schools and giving them my thoughts on anything, on sex or in life or anything else. And I don't think they should be going into grammar schools and doing that. Simple as that.
It's just common sense.
That's it. But it's just I don't want to, just leave it alone. There are social things out there that, people need help. I'm all for, social programs, but not, okay, open up the border and let's put them up in hotels and give them cell phones and $1,000 a month and free room and board. I'm not for that. That's not a social program to me. That's not a social program to me. A homeless person, a homeless vet, help them out. That's a social program to me. I'm all for that. But not some spy coming in from China that I got to give him a suite in New York, $1,000 check, free cell phone, and free food and board. I'm not for that.
In what era of America would people, undocumented people coming in and getting all this free stuff and getting put up in hotels and displacing even American citizens. So they and in shelters and things. Nobody, like there's the fringe of people who no human being is illegal, and they would. Yes, that's what we should be doing for these people. They're fleeing persecution. There's a very small amount of people who do that. But everybody's against that. We don't want our nobody wants their money being given to people who are just flown over. You don't even know why they're here. You don't even know why they're here.
And I remember like people that were fled Europe and South America and stuff, and they came over and they came over with like pillowcases carrying their clothes, and they were wearing tattered clothes, and you could see they were hungry, and their hair was all messed up, and you got people crossing the border, they're wearing Nikes, they got Adidas on, they got sweatsuits, they got their hair done, they got cell phones, they got big old sunglasses on. I mean, where are these people impressed from? Maybe I need to go there and get impressed. I don't know, but I don't see anybody coming across the border tatted and beat up,
I mean, they got iPhones.
Exactly.
That's
iPhone. I mean, they're wearing sunglasses. They got $200 sneakers on. They got sweatsuits on. Shit. I'm like, these people are dressed better than I am. Where are they coming from? That life is so bad.
I just don't understand. Maybe people just don't pay attention. If you look at Europe and how immigration has greatly affected them negatively.
Exactly right.
And we turn around and do the exact same thing, and you're not alarmed by that. That's what happened over there. More crime, people of different cultures who don't respect women and things like that, or who were touching young girls is okay, and why would you want them? Who
this
in
is
their
what
right
they're
mind
doing.
wants that shit?
This is what they're doing over there, and it's going wrong. Let's follow that. Let's follow them. Let's do what they're doing, and that's what we're doing. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it's absolutely not. It's not only moronic, but it's insane because it's right there. It played out.
And maybe that's it. Maybe it's a worldwide.
It's got to be.
It's a worldwide thing.
Who would go? Oh, well, look what happened. They're like, yeah, that's what we need to do. Then
maybe that's it. Then 4 or 5 guys running the whole show.
And the crime gets worse, and you control the people more, and it's a bunch of bullshit. Is what it is. I'm all worked up today.
Hey, well, it was good. I haven't seen each other in a while.
It's so frustrating, man. The average person just wants common sense and to be left alone.
I just want to go out, if I'm young enough, go to work, come home, have a beer, whatever, go on vacation every now and then. That's all. I mean, listen, if I want to be Trump or Bezos or one of them guys, yeah, you got to go out and work. Go out and work or whatever, or your parents hand it down to you or whatever, and don't screw it up. But, for the average guy, 9 to 5, go out, make some money, get a nice car, maybe own a house, go on vacation every now and then, and have a few beers. That's it. I don't think most people, are looking, to hit the stars. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, but they don't want you. They don't want you to even have. They don't want you to have a decent.
Exactly.
A decent life, which is.
They want the rich and the poor. They don't want no middle.
It's tragic. All right. On that happy note, don't forget Ned in Your Head tomorrow morning, 7:45. Ned in Your Head tomorrow morning, 7:45. Maybe in Ned After Dark as well. Shut that dog up.
See.